Hello everyone and welcome to the 6th episode of our Orizon campaign. Once again I am joined by my lovely, incredible, lovely friends and actors, voice actors for our lovely, wonderful, lovely, incredible, awesome, lovely, sort of mediocre characters.
Sort
Only times 10.
Playing the now deceased Oshrin. Yosh.
Hello.
Playing Anna, a blue flan, as she has come to have been known because she couldn't choose her name before I decided what it was going to be for her.
Haha.
And finally, everybody's favorite, Azamar. Raldir.
I'm the mediocre one.
Yep, that's Delta.
Who keeps having to heal?
But announcements. We are still doing auditions / interviews for the 4th slot of our Draenora campaign, and as well as if you just want to be part of the D&D universe cast community or any just involved with what we do, you can go ahead and check out any of our Twitter handles. Bada bing, bada boom. There they go.
They're right there. Whoa, they're flying off the screen.
Yes, whoa.
They're not flying off the screen. They're just there for a second. So, you can contact any of those. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. To talk to the members of the Orizon cast, and just DM us if you are interested to learn a bit more information about what the process is like, and really how you want to contribute, because we're just looking to grow the people that work on this to improve the quality for all of you viewers, and just to, well, make it a little bit more diverse.
Heck yeah.
A couple of other announcements. Episode 5 of Orizon. Unfortunately, it was lost to the aether, to the great beyond, to some kind of
great breaking.
some kind of demon that decided that episode 5 was not going to be a thing. So as per usual, right after I am done giving these announcements, there's going to be a small little cut-in where I explain everything that happened. I may or may not be joined by a couple of these lovely people to keep me honest while I am retelling the events of what happened. So that way you're still aware of what has happened between episodes 4 and this episode 6, since there were some pretty eventful happenstances.
Jam-packed with stuff.
With a lot of information, as you can see on the screen right now. Cloakman is dead. Elfman is nowhere to be seen, and a few other things. So don't worry about it. Here you go. This is what happened. Everybody stay silent for a couple of seconds. So that's what happened. Okay.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it kind of really sucks that those things
Yeah.
happened, and who would have thought that little red goblin guy? Anyway.
Yeah.
Should have snapped his neck.
Yeah. Wait, well,
Yeah.
actually, I tried to tackle him to the ground, but he just turned to dust, to vapor.
So
To be
He
fair.
disappeared.
he disappeared. So, other than that, I think it's finally time for last time on Orizon D&D. Our heroes. Well, that just happened. So we can just get into the game. Because they just watched what happened last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You baited.
I was waiting for it though. Last time on Dream. Wait.
You almost did it. You almost did it. I didn't do it.
Last time.
Get destroyed.
Draenora last time on Delgora D&D.
But yeah, so we are back. The two have just disappeared. And we should probably stop playing the last time music.
Nah, it's good background music. It's very
Next.
nice.
Next time
Next time.
Next time on Arisen
on Arisen
D&D.
D&D.
Okay, so suddenly, after the two have disappeared in this kind of column of flame that surrounded both of them, the chambers around you begin to rumble.
Oh boy.
So what is the first thing? What do you... Layers of Arisen, what would you like to do?
I would like to Arcana check the room.
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to revive.
I'd like to be alive, please.
Oh geez, I need to mute the other tab, the controlling tab. Okay.
Oh.
16. All right. You look around the room and you see these kind of... This room seems to be somewhat of like a ritual chamber. There are all kinds of arcane writing across all of the walls. And they seem to come to a focal point right about here, where all of them kind of come in from each of the four cardinal directions, like these lines of text just funneling down into a single sort of hole that appears to be in the wall.
Do I know, are the runes any, have anything to do with the shaking, or?
They seem to just be dull and unactivated, really. They just seem to be almost etched into the wall.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna do what any probably average person would do in this case. I'm going to look to Anna, and I'm going to say, I don't know about you, but I think we should probably start running.
I would.
And I'm gonna try to hightail it out of there. So,
Okay.
can I just go back the way I came?
1 second.
Don't trip on my stuff.
Wait,
Oh yes.
am I-
Also, I'd like to pick up some of Caution's stuff on the way.
I'm trying to find
I would like to.
the wild magic surges. I can't find them.
I would like to see if I can pick up any of the elfin stuff.
Oh, there we
If
go.
I can.
Found it. Okay.
Ooh, wild magic.
So it begins to shake in a similar fashion as to when you fired your gun that one time, but much larger magnitude.
Magic
So the two of you
magic,
begin to try and run back towards the entrance, but suddenly this whole area begins to cave in. The sandstone begins to fall in large boulders, blocking the path that you had once come in from, and the room seems to shake more violently than before.
Huh. So what is this whole thing blocked off now?
Yes.
Okay.
Goodbye,
Ah.
goodbye.
Oh boy.
It's dark.
Aye. Well, okay, I get the point.
It's never enough darkness.
Never enough. You know what? Can I possibly see, if I can understand what these runes, are saying? Possibly, you know, with my helmet of, what's it? It's, the word is just slipping my mind. Helm of Comprehending Languages.
You already used it.
You already used it. That's how you heard what I said.
Oh yeah, right. That's how I said I wouldn't help you anymore.
Yep.
Huh. Well, I am going, if nothing happens, I suppose I will.
It's like a magnitude 4 earthquake right now, sort of. Shaking.
Okay.
Really hard.
I'm gonna try to step around Cloakman. I'm gonna see if I can shoot this.
All right.
But first, I'm gonna make a hand motion, just kind of move away. Yeah, because that'd be dangerous.
Oh look, it's the elfman. He suddenly appeared again.
All right, let's see. So it's +6 because there's proficiency and dex, was it?
You shoot a bullet. It's now a category
Yeah.
9.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
look.
Beep beep.
Oh.
Oh.
So you lift up your thunder cannon, you take aim, and you fire. But it seems to like leave this small little crater in one of the boulders, but it doesn't seem to have moved at all.
Oh.
So I need to throw on this table really quick.
Okay.
Oh my, something's about to happen.
We're all gonna die.
97.
Ooh, 97.
Oh, I get to choose.
Oh boy.
It's a wish spell.
Oh boy. Caution's back alive. But the bad part is, he's alive on the side that's blocked off.
Oh, true.
Then we have to do teamwork to get out.
What's
So all creatures within circle are hit by a magic missile.
Oh.
That's what I choose.
Ah, okay. Alright.
So we'll go from the way that they're positioned on the screen. Actually, you know what? I'll have you guys choose who's the first one, who's the second one. The first one is whoever wins this, evens or odds. So somebody say evens or odds.
Odds. Oh no. Okay, fine. Evens. Fine.
It's always odds.
Yeah!
Dude.
Yeah.
That means you guys. Well, I don't think either of them beat either of your AC. What's your AC?
Let's see. My AC is 13.
Oh, then it did beat your AC.
No!
AC is 16 as well.
You take 1 point of force damage.
It's like if you threw like a little like pebble at me.
So suddenly, just appearing from outside of the hole in the wall is this these two magic missiles, these spiraling pinkish purplish bits of energy that sound like a train coming towards you.
Oof.
And
Nice
they-
incorporation.
They slam into one of them slams into your chest, but Anna, you find it rather easy to just deflect it with your mace.
But you.
Right back into around there. No, I'm kidding.
Ah! He takes 2.
So, I would say you guys have about 5 minutes before this whole place caves in.
Ah, well, this is a predicament. Well, I'm gonna try to do my last ditch efforts and stuff. Okay, so you said it's like the thing is like radiating off this point.
Magic missiles shot out of it.
I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna like poke it like a button.
It's a hole that goes inward about 2 or 3 feet.
2 or 3 feet, eh? Can I see? Can I see into this hole? Cause I have dark vision.
Yes, you see some sort of greenish orb that seems to be faintly glowing and radiating light.
I'm gonna try to. How like big like is the hole? Like, is it like?
It's enough for like your arm. It's a long cylinder.
I'm gonna see if I can shoot the orb.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well, that's one way to solve your problems.
Oh.
Get the low rolls out the way.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you rest the barrel of your thunder cannon, and kind of push it slightly into the hole and fire, and then you pull it back out and you look into it, and the orb seems to be unharmed.
Oh. Well, this is quite the predicament.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet.
I'm getting me hammer. I'm getting me mallet. Shucks.
Can I look around to see if there's like any sort of like way out?
Any what?
Like weak spots in the wall, or maybe like any things that could be hiding the door behind it.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Aye, Captain.
So, what are you doing then, Raldir?
Hmm. The magic missile came out of this hole. Let's see, what else can I do? Hmm.
You begin to see these sort of hidden lines that kind of run almost all the way through this chamber. And for a second, you recall that there have been these lines going throughout the whole lot of this area. Throughout the whole, all of the walls in these ruins seem to have these lines that, at first glance, just look like cracks in the wall. But as you begin to follow them, you kind of bring your hands over them, and you feel this sort of warmth on them. And you kind of trace it with your finger along the wall, and that it's all of them seem to feed into the central hole that Raldir is inspecting.
You said it was big enough for my arm, right?
Yes.
Could I possibly touch the orb if I really stretched myself?
Yes.
Like, I'm going to try to grab at it.
You touch the orb, and suddenly, all you see is darkness.
Whoa. I'm gonna stop touching the orb.
Your vision is returned to you, and you suddenly feel much lighter,
Oh.
as if you were just being pressed down, or you were being, as if like some sort of huge weight was being imposed upon you as you were touching that orb. You suddenly feel lighter.
Oh. You've lost a foot of, like, height.
I would say that after you were investigating that and you were experimenting, another minute has passed, and I'm going to throw again on the eruption table. Oh, that's the wrong dice.
Yeah, wild magic.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, it's just the first one, might be. So 54.
I love wild magic.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh wait, no. I was looking at those dice. Those dice didn't make any sense. Let me just roll properly.
Okay.
There we
It
go.
was a dragon, wasn't it?
And no, it wasn't.
A dragon busts into the ceiling.
Something happens. You're not sure.
Oh.
Some sort of bluish sparks begin to fly out of the hole, but doesn't seem to have affected any of you.
Huh. Well. It hasn't affected
Another
anyone.
gnome falls out of the ceiling.
Swear to God.
What is it? Oh, it just did like a prestidigitation thing. Just created some sparks. I'm gonna try to hit the orb. Like, I'm just gonna try to, like, push my fist into it. Just like, boom, just hit it.
So once you make contact with it again, you feel that same weight fall down upon your body, and everything goes dark.
Because I know it has to do with this orb, because everything's coming out of there. I'm really tempted to try to just, like, plug up the hole and see if that does anything. Probably not.
What about pulling it out?
Could I do that? Do I have long enough reach to just pull it out?
Yeah, you can, but... So you begin to try and pull out the orb, but every single time you touch it, doesn't seem to be there anymore. And as you, like, with your body, you begin to try and make the motion to pull what you think is the orb on your hands backwards. But Anna, as this is happening, the whole ruins begin to turn slightly to the side at about a 45-degree angle.
Whoa!
Well, dear,
All of the bodies begin to
Slide to one side.
slide to one side.
What's going on?
I'm just trying to grab the orb.
I'm just sliding.
At this, I'm gonna stop. Like, stop trying to grab it.
The room is stuck at this 45-degree angle, and both of you are kind of like holding onto the sides of things to not be slid down.
Huh. I'm gonna try to grab the orb again.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn this room upside down.
You reach to try and put your hands on the orb, and once again the same thing happens. Your vision goes dark, and you feel this huge weight envelop your body. And you begin to pull back on it with more strength. And as you're pulling back on it, Anna, from your point of view, he's not moving at all. His body is just still. And you, as you're pulling back, trying to kind of pull it towards you, scraping it along the side of this column, the whole chamber begins to tilt backwards, and all the bodies begin to fall back towards the boulders.
So it's tilted in another direction now.
Yes.
Now, because it's tilted this way, like towards the boulders, do the boulders possibly roll back, or any of them move?
They seem to move backwards a bit, but it seems like the whole tunnel has been collapsed.
Well.
Oh, God.
Jeez. I'm just gonna keep pulling on it.
Okay. So you continue to pull on it, and I'm gonna need Anna to make a strength check. Athletics.
Check or saving throw?
Check.
Oh, okay.
Yay. Oh, what?
All right. You're able to maintain your grip, but now the whole chamber is sort of like a flat cliff face now, and all of the bodies. So it looks like this now.
Oh.
And all the bodies are piled up on the boulders right there. And you're kind of hanging by the little lip of the platform. Meanwhile, you, from your perspective on Aureldir, has his feet planted in the exact same way that they were before, and his arm is just stuck into the wall.
Yo, that's so cool.
I'm just gonna be very confused. Aureldir, how are you not moving?
You do not hear her voice.
Oh. I'm gonna stay determined. I'm gonna keep grabbing at this thing.
So,
I'm sorry.
The whole chamber begins to shake more and more and more. The bits of the walls that are around you begin to rumble and shake and begin to fall apart even more so. Anna, I'm going to need you to make a perception check with disadvantage. Because you're worried about your life.
Okay. Perception, disadvantage.
All right, even with a 13. So as the walls begin to break, and almost like just think like peeling the skin off of something, like a potato, like they begin to fall off in layers. And you gaze into like some of the cracks and the holes in the walls, and you see these almost looks like these cracks that are kind of glowing with this greenish radiant energy that all seem to be just running through the walls in all different kinds of ways.
Can I see if I know what this is exactly? But like, if I can see what's going on exactly?
See, that's the difficult thing. I don't know what kind of check to make that.
Nature
because
Kana.
Nature Kana.
You said energy. I think energy is magic.
You can go ahead and make an Arcana check if you want. If you feel like it's magical, then go ahead and make an Arcana check. It's definitely magical. You just can't tell what exactly is going on.
It's the orb.
So you continue to pull on the orb, and then suddenly, everything that's in front of him, all of the everything around the hole starts to crack and break, and little bits of rubble and pebbles and sandstone begin to fall downwards, and you continue pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and as it begins to break, suddenly you start to see cracks of sunlight coming through the cracks.
I did it
in front, and let me try and illustrate this for you. That way you get a little bit better idea. So that is my canvas.
All right.
So there's
an artist at work.
There's the hole in the wall, and there are cracks that seem to form all over the place. And through these cracks, you can see these long tunnels that kind of just stretch, but they have an opening at the end of it. And you see the desert in front of you, and the whole thing begins to rumble and shake once again. And suddenly there's a, and the whole chamber begins to shake, and it's flat once again. It's kind of positioning changing, and you feel your feet touch the ground instead of just hanging from the side of the platform.
Huh. What about me?
You just keep on. You're trying to pull onto this orb, trying to pull it back, but it doesn't. In your perspective, it's still just completely dark, and all you feel is shaking.
Yo, I'm gonna heave.
So you pull back once again, and suddenly the tiny little cracks you can see of the desert on the surface suddenly begin to turn blue, and you begin to feel air rushing into this area at a very, very high speed, as if it was being vacuumed inwards from the cracks. And I'm going to need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It's gonna be like an airplane opening.
Oh, that was almost.
It's gonna suck you right out.
So you lose grip, and your body. Well, you not grip because you were standing flat once again. But suddenly, with this huge rush, your body flings up and hits the ceiling, and then you fall down. So that's gonna be about 40 feet of space, because it was 20 feet up and then 20 feet back down.
Ow.
So that's a d6 per 5 feet, so 8d6.
You know how it is.
You take 31 points of bludgeoning damage.
You already know who it is.
Are you unconscious?
Yes, I am.
All right, it's the
fall
world your
unconscious.
show now.
And it feels like sand is starting to come between your fingers. And it starts to feel kind of hot on the surface, as if there was the sun beating down on it.
All right. Huh.
Continue moving the orb. Ana falls on the ceiling. She dies.
I'm going to take my hand away because, it's like, interesting.
Your vision returns to you, and you look around the chamber. Everything is moved around and is scattered along. You see Ana unconscious on the ground.
Oh my God! What happened? Do I see the cracks in the wall?
You do.
How big are they?
If you went one at a time, you could probably squeeze through if you broke it open a little bit more.
All right. Well, I mean, I have cure wounds. I don't have any undead things, but I have cure wounds. You know, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna use cure wounds. Beep.
Okay, throw what level of your slot are you using, first or second?
I guess I will use second.
So throw 2d8 and add your intelligence modifier.
All right. Oh, and I gotta subtract that +6 from my thunder cannon. 2d8. So let's see, and int mod, that is +3. 1, 2, 3. Beep beep. All right.
You regain consciousness,
Yay!
and you see Raldir hovering above you with this like whitish yellow energy kind of pouring off out of his fingers.
I'm an angel, literally. To be fair, literally.
And by this point, it has been another minute. So
How many minutes have passed total?
2, but
Okay.
that
good.
means we're gonna get another wild magic surge.
Ah!
Oh no.
The cracks close up.
69.
Ha
So slowly, this purple gas begins to come out of the orb,
Oh boy.
in the wall, kind of just from the hole.
And
And
it pooted.
I'm gonna need both of you to make Constitution saving throws.
I got this.
Hope I got this.
Brother!
So you fight off the urge to vomit, but Anna,
Yeah.
you do not.
Oh.
So you retch out your insides, and
Bunch of beetles.
it's horrible. You feel this kind of sickness just start to entirely envelop you, and you just feel so weak. You guys have one action each before the next wild magic surge.
Well, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can't, like...
Actually, only Raldir does, because Anna, technically you're stunned.
I'm gonna see if I can break one of the cracks open a little bit bigger with, Would I have to make an attack to do that? To break it open?
Depends on what you're hitting it with.
Let's see. Say a hammer.
What kind of hammer from your...
From my pack.
Well, you have to understand that's like it's like a ball peen hammer almost. It's not like a...
Yeah, I know. What about a crowbar? Because I have one of those.
I would say your best bet would probably be to just hit it with the butt end of your gun.
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
So go ahead and make an athletics check.
Alright. You know, I graduated top of my class in gym.
What is school?
Oh.
So you begin hammering the kind of... I forget what that part of the gun is called, but you begin to hammer the backside of it into the wall, and you start to make a little bit of headway. The sandstone seems to have been weakened through all of the crumbling stone and the earthquakes. But Anna, you begin to regain conscious control of your body, and you can move once again. But that essentially took your entire turn. So here comes the next magic surge.
No.
Not again.
77. Alright.
Each of you are confused.
Huh? Who am I?
Who are you?
Who are you?
The confused debuff, or should I say status, are hit by the effects of confusion. Need to look at the spell really quickly. So please decide what you're gonna do while I look this.
Well, really, I'm probably just gonna keep trying to break it.
Confusion. The spell assaults and twists the creature's mind, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled action. You guys need to both make wisdom saving throws.
Oh my.
Alright. Yeah, brother.
I think I'll be fine. My luck today.
So, after the purplish gas begins to make its way out of the cracks in the walls, it is suddenly replaced by a very vibrant pink color, like this very like vaporous mist that begins to envelop the room rather rapidly compared to the slow outpour of purple gas before. Once again, coming from the hole in the hole in the wall from where the orb sits. So both of you need to decide what you're doing.
I'm gonna try to keep just. If I tried to keep breaking the wall, would that be a repeated action?
No. I'd have you make a different athletics check each time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that again. Just gonna keep.
Okay, before you do that, throw a d10
Alright. Alright.
for the effect of confusion. Uno d10. Wow, that was literally the best you could have gotten because you can freely move and act normally. So make another athletics check.
Alright, I'm gonna try to keep hammering away at this thing. Hard
You got a
work
10.
pays off.
You beat yourself in the head with your own gun.
So you finally, after smacking it over and over and over and over, you find this weak point. You just bring your gun down onto it, and it kind of shakes and rumbles and cracks. And if you were to kind of press your body up against the side, you each could make it out one at a time. So, Anna, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna just try and recover. I'm trying to recover from after I vomit, really.
But you're feeling woozy, but you're able to do things.
I'm gonna try and walk over to Raldir then.
Roll a d10.
Rolls a 1. You go to sleep.
4.
Because I feel tired now.
You forget how to use your legs and you cannot move.
Whoa.
Well, that's nice.
Here comes the next wild surge. Why are you using
Jelly
your
legs
measuring
attack.
tool?
I don't know. Also, wait, hold on. So, is that gonna go on for how long? The confusion?
It just does.
It
It's a concentration, so it'll wear off soon. It's got a minute.
Confused do.
So let's see, 39. I need you both to make Constitution saving throws.
Was, but now it does. Okay, I'm fine with that.
So you succeed on it, but Elta. So as soon as the pink gas sort of begins to evaporate and kind of disperse, these tiny little green bubbles, as if somebody was like blowing a wand of bubbles, begin to kind of flow out from the hole in the wall. And Delta, as they kind of scatter over your body, you can feel the liquid seeping into your skin. You are poisoned.
Oh.
Which means that you have disadvantage on strength checks.
Oh.
The bubbles seep into you. You now fall asleep.
Yeah, poisoned. A poison creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So
I am going to look to Anna. I'm going to point to the hole in the wall that is now big enough to move through.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, come on, let's get a move on. We don't got much time. And I'm going to just I'm going to start moving through it. Like,
roll a d10.
All right.
This is the last round for confusion.
Come on. Brother.
You forget how your legs work and you're stuck in place.
That's so dumb.
Well, technically what it says, the creature doesn't move or take actions this turn.
Oh.
How do legs work?
I'm just saying you forget how to use your legs because that's what makes the most sense for not being
yeah.
able to move.
Okay.
So, Anna, What are you doing?
Try to move over to him while with my arms, with just my arms.
So, well, see, the thing is, it's like you try to bend down and forward, but you're just Michael Jackson like style, leaning with your foot, like your both of your feet. I was gonna say foots. Both of your feet planted in the ground. Throw another D10.
Okay. Oh, thank me.
6. It's 2 to 6. The creature doesn't move or take actions this turn.
Oh.
So both of you seem stuck after this round. You regain control of your bodies. The confusion spell has ended. And here comes the last wild magic surge before the whole place comes down. 68. Wow. Okay, both of you guys need to make a Constitution saving throw. With advantage because you've already been affected by this.
It's confusion again.
Okay.
There's 1 and there's 2.
Well, you both succeed. It was the miasma once again, kind of being
Also,
the purple gas.
Double 20s.
Nice.
So you both have a turn. Anna behind you, coming from the tunnel, the instability of the room begins to crumble behind you, and you both can squeeze out and through if you want to.
I'm gonna try to do that. I'm just gonna try to slip through.
So the both of you slip through, and you're just running and you're running and you're running and you hear the sound of crumbling behind you. And you're running through these long tunnels. These kind of like curved walls are around you, until you finally run out to the edge of it, and you are greeted by the desert sun. It is very hot outside. It's the first time you've seen daylight
Oh, that would really hurt your eyes.
in a while. So after shielding your eyes, you gaze out in the direction that you're facing. What do the both of you do?
I'm just gonna inspect the landscape.
No perception check.
Okay. There is nothing.
You turn around to see what you were running out of, and you see 2 large fingers.
Whoa. Jeez, I'm probably gonna jump back a little bit when I see that.
You begin to move back, taking a few steps, trying to understand what's in front of you. As you take step after step after step after step, you see what looks like a gargantuan stone hand.
Whoa. Jeez. Huh.
Anna, you are just standing, kind of trying to catch your breath.
Alright, well, once I do, I'm just gonna let myself, I'm just gonna around and just leave and I'm out of there.
So, both of you kind of move away, and you sit there in the sand, kind of gazing out over what just happened, trying to wrap your head around what's been going on. Koshrin is nowhere to be seen. Everybody that you've spent the past few days with has died. A tiny little goblin in a red cloak disappeared with the orc that was kicking y'all's asses.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that though.
He teleports behind you.
So, you both sit there in the sand. What do you do?
I'm gonna Arcana check this big stone hand coming out.
It's actually better to make a history check.
Okay, see if I know this thing.
History.
Oh shit. Okay. This is
25.
actually a whisper.
Okay. And can I choose to inform my friend of this? Or is this just like a thing that's like in the back of my mind?
You can decide to, but I'm just
Okay.
gonna whisper this to you. It's entirely up to you how what you want to give away, or if you want to at all.
Yeah.
After you've been given this information, so you guys should start to plug things and talk about stuff while I'm whispering.
Okay. Shameless plugs, eh? Well, how about Draenora? That's a pretty good show.
Oh, all the goofy characters.
Oh, and
I'm not a part of it,
Del-
but I watch it every Saturday.
Delgora. Oh, Delgora is where the usual DM Ares,
Yo.
where he plays a part.
He plays a great character along with me.
Where I DM. It's crazy, I know.
It's amazing.
It's
Fantastic.
beautiful, magnificent.
You know-
The best show you can see.
Really,
How
the
about-
whole.
The main character of that. Ooh, the main
Oh.
character, the best character, Cluckers.
True.
Sorry,
Really?
Peckers.
All of
Okay.
D&D universe. Pretty great channel.
Yeah,
Huh.
you should subscribe to both the Twitch and YouTube.
Yes.
Saturday
Yes.
is Saturday, Thursday, and I don't know when. Yeah, never mind.
That's it.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna be nice to the viewers right now. To anyone seeing this, I hope you had a good day today. And I care about each and every one of you.
That's a
From-
lie.
From the heart.
From the heart. Oh, Delta.
I patted my heart in real life because no one could see that.
Pat.
I actually kind of thought you would do that.
Yeah. From the heart.
Oh,
Yo, that boss music though.
Yeah, that was pretty rockin'. Huh. Party rockin' in the house tonight.
Everybody just gonna have a good
Have a
time.
good time.
A very good time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're with the Draenora cast and the
Ha-ha!
Arisen cast. We all got our separate personalities, but we all make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like a. Oh, now that you say that, you make it seem like it's a sitcom or something. Like
Join us again.
the D&D cast.
Another
Oh,
D&D.
they all have these wacky and weird personalities, but they make it work. Oh, Starark.
Oh, Accolade. Oh.
Wait a second. Wait a
Just
second.
my friend. I've come to talk with you again.
What do you think we're talking about with Hercules? Look back at
Maybe
the older
you should
episodes.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch it.
Do it.
Do it right now.
Do it.
Do it while
I
we
told you
wait.
to do it.
Yeah, do it while we're waiting. And then
Yeah.
have both of us playing at the same time.
Yeah, play all of our videos all at once.
No,
Oh,
it's
boy.
Absorb the knowledge of D&D universe all at once. Listen to it while you sleep. It'll absorb into your brain.
Then all you'll be able to say is
Praise Malil.
Stark and praise Malil.
Praise
And don't
Malil.
forget the final meme. I'm the third one.
I don't know. But you'll just have to look back at the old episodes to find out about those memes.
Remember
There's
when
some
I
good
guest
quality
starred? When I
memes.
guest starred in Draenora?
No,
Yeah.
that never happened.
Go check out the videos.
That was
That'll
actually
never
before the
happen.
videos.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
so.
true.
That's
What
why I
is it?
said
What
that
is it?
never happened.
Is
That
it okay
never
that I forgot
happened.
the name of the character?
Wow, what an unforgettable character. Wait, forgettable.
Forgettable. Forgettable lunch.
Oh, crap. Oh, shucks. I said the wrong thing.
A forgettable luncheon.
I hope you're ready for a forgettable luncheon.
Okay, there you go. You guys suck.
What? What do we do?
You guys suck.
I'm sorry.
What about our plugging?
That was. It's not a sitcom. God damn it.
All these wacky characters with wacky personalities,
So
but they make
that-
it
Can't
work.
make it work.
Please read what you have been given.
And in the meantime, we'll check back with Stark and the others.
Yeah.
Where's Achilles? Why am I in a desert? Who am I?
Where did I come from?
Where did I go?
Why did those people just come out of this huge hand?
Is that a caravan?
So that's what I know about
Is
it,
that
eh?
Oh, you read that pretty fast.
I'm a quick reader. I'm a pretty fast typer,
You know
too.
what? Let's go back to.
Anyway,
Uh,
so back into the game, you guys can.
Yup.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, at remembering that,
Realizing, not remembering.
at realizing that, yeah, like, oh, wait a second. Oh. I am going to get up. I'm going to just look calmly over to Anna, and
And then scream.
I am just gonna say, Nigaranda.
It's a T-Rex!
You know, I am gonna say, it is in my personal opinion that we get out of here. And I'm going to turn around, even grabbing her by the collar at first. I'm gonna like turn her around, and I'm gonna run in the opposite direction.
Okay, are you going to fight him or go along with it? Just be dragged.
I'll just go along with it.
Okay, then you don't. Then you're only gonna, while dragging her while she's keeping her feet in the sand. You only get to move about 15 feet at a time.
At knowing that I'm slow, I'm gonna like, I'll drag her enough to turn her around, and then I'm gonna let go, just so she knows where I'm running.
Okay.
I'll quickly follow. Don't leave me here with this.
So you both run and run and run and run and run, and you
Yoo-hoo.
Who?
you see these tiny two little specks in the sand as you are piloting your airship, seemingly running across the desert from this weird, almost humanoidish hand-like structure that appears to have pulled itself out of the sand.
Talking to you.
This is near the spot that you were told the previous expedition party had gone to. But you're still quite a ways away, maybe about a mile or two.
Okay. Do I know anything about that big hand?
It's you're too far to see any kind of specific details about it. You're not sure whether it's like just the sand or if it's just
the thing they were sent to investigate.
Yeah, there's no way to know, because what you know is that they were going to go research some ruins. This has no kind of resemblance or semblance of anything.
What a strange ruins that could be. Never seen anything like that. What the heck are those things?
It's just that you're so high up in the air that they look like specks.
I don't know what they are. They're specks. I'm gonna start flying lower.
So as you begin to descend, you, as is normal to descend from altitude while piloting an airship, you begin to take these large sacks that are attached to some kind of chain, and you begin to throw them off the side, trying to weigh the ship down, and you slowly begin to descend. And
what can I start making out of these
as
objects I see?
As you begin to descend lower and lower, a shadow begins to appear over Anan Raldir. This huge shadow.
Oh.
And as you're descending lower and lower, you're probably about maybe 300 feet still in the air. You begin to see that they look like somewhat humanoid creatures. kind of just running in the opposite direction of whatever it is that they came out of. And as you begin to come closer, and you're looking once again at this like handish structure, go ahead and make a history check. You have no fucking clue.
Oh shoot!
You have no idea what to make of this.
What a bummer. Well, I'm seeing them run in the opposite way, so I'm gonna see about steering the ship around and kind of cutting them off.
Oh, easy enough. As you begin to descend more and more quickly, you tossing more and more sacks over the side. You easily enough. You see, so Reldir and Anna, the shadow begins to grow larger and larger and larger and larger until you finally like look up to look up and around and trying to see what it is, and you see this smaller vessel made of wood that just seems to be this kind of wooden nautical vessel. And I want both of you guys to make history checks.
Okay.
Okay. Anna, you've seen some of these before. As someone who would watch the skies a lot, you recognize this as some form of airship. You don't know a lot about it since you've never really had contact with one, but you've heard of them. And Reldir, you've seen a few airships in your time. You've seen, you've never personally been on one, but there has been members of your family who've used them to get around.
Yeah.
But suddenly it just kind of coasts into the sand and kind of, I would say it's maybe 6 feet tall on the side. So it's not much larger than the both of you. And coming up to just slightly above your head, what are you doing? Character who has not been named yet or described yet.
I'm gonna. Thanks.
So how far away is this thing?
It's right in front of you. You could. It maybe landed 5 feet in front of you.
Okay. I'm gonna walk to the side of the ship that they're on. I'm gonna sit down on the edge. And I'm gonna
say that again. Hold on. What? Say that again.
I'm gonna sit on the edge of the boat. Well, airship.
Okay, so you both kind of looking up and trying to see a little bit over the edge of the side of the ship, and suddenly you see these two legs kind of kick over, followed by something hoisting itself up over the railing. And would you like to describe yourself? What do they see?
A 3-foot old looking, slightly balding.
Slightly, but that's only what I think.
I see what you mean.
Rugged old.
I will take away your measuring tool.
mechanist.
Sorry. Okay. At seeing someone, I'm going to run up, like, so, like, how far in front of us is it? Like
I said, it's about 5 feet in front of you.
Okay, geez, wow, close landing.
Yeah, you were almost crushed.
I'm good.
I was
No,
almost
I'm just
crushed. I am going to look up to the man and kind of frantically, but you know, I'm hoping I'm saved. Hey, what are you doing out here?
There's no need to yell. I'm here. You're here. What were you running from?
Something dangerous, that's all you need to know.
Something dangerous. What happened back there?
Exactly. Why
There
did
was
you
a-
start running?
There was a giant rock hand coming out of the ground.
Yeah, I saw that.
Explain anything.
What about it?
They're dangerous.
Oh, that
What
thing's
is
a
it?
creature.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, that's quite big.
And suddenly, the earth begins to shake like magnitude 9 earthquake.
Whoa.
These cracks start to form coming from originally the hand, these huge fissures in the earth. And I'm gonna need each of you guys to make dexterity saving throws, I think, except for you because you're on the boat. And it's not technically on the sand; it's kind of just hovering.
Hovering.
Yeah, not really touching the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So Anna, make a dex save. So you see it before Anna does, and you see it coming from like this kind of crack in the sands, and then suddenly like it looks like the sand is moving and shifting, being pulled downwards as a huge canyon is starting to form coming from it, and you get one reaction, Reldir, because you passed your save.
I'd like to okay, so you said like the ledge of the boat is like, or airship is like right at like our head.
It's a little taller than you, yeah.
A little taller. Can I like grab on to like the boat?
There's rigging on the side.
Airship? You know, yeah, I'm gonna grab
Yeah,
onto
like
that.
you can.
You know, I want you to make a perception check. Unnamed person.
I like the fact that I'm just unnamed right now.
It's really bright. And you can't really see too well. Since I assume you have your goggles down since you were still flying.
Don't want that sand in my eyes.
And the light is kind of reflecting into it, and you're almost blinded. You can barely make out what's in front of you. And Anna suddenly just the ground sucks her down from beneath her. So first I need to determine how deep it is. It is 90 feet deep.
Huh.
And 10 feet wide. So I need you to make... I already have you make it. Alright.
What?
So you begin to plummet and fall. Raldir, you get an action if you want to try and grab onto her.
Can I grab onto her while I'm grabbing onto the rigging?
Yeah, sure. And it's at this point, unnamed character, that you begin to see a huge canyon starting to form, kind of underneath the boat, and it's one of the people that are in front of you is being pulled into it.
Can I get onto the? Can I start manning it and try to get under?
Yeah. Okay. So, you. Wait. What do you mean get under?
Get under who's falling?
Oh, okay.
Or have they not fall? Have they not fallen?
Oh
yet?
no, that's falling into the ground. The canyon is not big enough
Oh,
for you to.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the ground sinking basically.
It's the ground shattering in half, like a
Oh,
huge
bruh.
fissure, but it's not big enough for you to squeeze your entire boat into. So, I need you to make an athletics check, Raldir.
See if I can grab her.
Yeah.
Alright. Athletics check. I got you.
Dude, these saves. So she's kind of like reaching up as she's falling down, and you grab onto her wrist and get a really tight grip as you're holding onto the rigging, and both of you are kind of just hanging there. Oh no, you look down and you can't see the bottom. of this canyon that has now been formed beneath you. So you, unnamed character, you go up to the controls of this ship. So what are you doing? Are you like taking off, or
I'm gonna see if I can, because I don't want to move too fast to where they get like shaken off.
yeah?
I want to move us to the closest bit of solid land.
Can I possibly say something?
Make a perception check, and yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, firstly, because I want to be a polite royalty, I'm going to yell to him, "Permission to come aboard!"
Permission granted.
I'm gonna try to climb over the side.
So Reldir, you kind of lift Anna up just up to the point where Anna, you can reach the rigging, like these kind of ropes that are kind of in this crosshatch pattern, I guess you
Like
could
on
say.
a pirate ship.
And you find it rather easy to hold fast against it. It's like a rope ladder almost. So you climb over, not too difficult, and you begin to pilot the ship, kind of moving it over just ever so slightly away from the canyon. But then you begin to see 4 more canyons, similar to the one that just opened up.
Are you two safely aboard?
You see first the white-haired, kind of pale-looking humanoid come over the side of the ship, over the railing, followed by this elven-like humanoid whose hair is black that kind of shocks to blue as it comes down to the edges.
The name's Grafford, but no time for thanks. We've got to get out of here.
I'd agree.
Pick up the bags on the sides. We've got to gain altitude.
Yeah, I'll do so. I'll pick them up.
I'll do so as well.
So you both grab onto these ropes that seem to just be hanging off the side, and you, Grafford, you know that when you need to quickly gain altitude, that you have to actually pull some of the insides of the bags out and let go of them.
Let go of the bags. Get them off.
I'll do so.
So they drop the bags and nothing happens because I said you have to pull the stuff from the inside out of the bags and take it out.
You hurt me inside. You hurt everything about me inside.
Listening is a skill that is very important in D&D.
You didn't do that right. You have to take everything from inside outside.
I'm gonna do so with it. Yeah.
So you each begin to reach into these sort of burlap sacks, and you try and grab onto what feel like these huge ball bearings, like the size of baseballs.
Oh.
And they seem to be really heavy, and you pull them out, and you like try and put it onto the deck of the ship, the boat, and it begins to rise up into the air.
There you go. Keep it going. Keep it going.
And one by one, you keep on pulling them out as quickly as possible. And as they begin to float up and away from the ship, they begin to shrink smaller and smaller as they get further and further away from you.
We're not out of the blue yet.
So the ship,
looking back,
the ship begins to slowly rise. And Reldir, I need you to make a perception check.
All right.
So you see something on the horizon, but you can't really make out what it is. So what is everybody doing?
I'm gonna see about getting us out of here as quickly as possible and heading back.
All right, just make a dexterity check. A straight dex check, adding your mod.
That's it.
Okay. So you begin to pilot the
plus
ship.
Proficiency, right?
No, yes, actually, plus
Okay.
your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, 10.
All right. So
All
you.
right.
All right. So you begin to pull on the controls of the ship. It's sort of like this. There's the wheel, but then there's all sorts of different kinds of levers and whatnot on either side of the wheel, and you're pulling. And you know how to pilot this thing. You've piloted it before, and you begin to slowly rise at about maybe the speed of 5 feet every 3 or 4 seconds, just slowly rising up.
Make sure to keep pulling the material out. We need to elevate higher. Faster.
Aye. And I'm gonna keep doing it.
So you continue to pull these ball bearings out of the bag one by one, keep letting them fly up and up and up, and then it starts to go up faster and faster until you guys are about maybe 40 or 50 feet off the ground. And then you suddenly hear the sounds of earth cracking, and off in the distance, maybe about a mile or two, you hear.
What the hell was that?
Kind of just billowing and echoing across the deserts.
I'd imagine it was probably the Earth thing.
What exactly was it?
That hand?
Yeah, there's probably a body attached to that hand.
Oh my lord.
Now, I've only heard fairy tales, so this is just me kind of guessing almost. But the thing is, before the whole island thing, pointing up to the sky, not really pointing up to anything, those were the things that kind of ruled the earth. They're huge, and they're dangerous, and this is just from what I've heard, is that if you leave the cities, you're gonna get killed. And I'd rather not die today.
Death comes at any time. You better believe I'm not prepared to die today.
I'm so glad I found someone so agreeable.
I agree as well. I've already nearly died twice today. That's not almost
Aye.
been good.
Aye.
So boat begins to rise higher and higher and higher, and you look over in the direction of the hand, and it doesn't seem to be the same spot that it was before.
Oh boy.
How much closer has it gotten?
It's nowhere to be seen, but you begin to see what looks like a huge sweeping sandstorm beginning to form, maybe about a mile away from your current position.
A mile away behind us. Ugh.
A mile away. Shinderu.
Can I... Is there any way we can start moving super quickly horizontally, not vertically?
Yeah.
Can I start moving us very quickly?
Gas.
I've piloted this old rust bucket for a while. I can make it do anything.
Well,
Brace yourselves.
it runs well. I'm gonna say that as I grab onto one of the rope from the rigging.
I'm putting it into maximum overdrive.
Maximum overdrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gas. I'm gonna step on the gas. As you start to drift.
No.
going 10 times faster.
Okay, that one got me.
That was good.
I want to see this old man drift an airship.
Very difficult, but we can do it.
Airship racing. Yo, I hope that's a thing. Just for fun. Just for fun.
Is a thing. Yeah.
Can I make a history check to see if I remember anything about airship racing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Just it crosses the back of my mind, wow, this guy's going pretty fast. Do I remember anything about airship racing?
You've heard a few things, but at the speed that airships usually go, it's more like watching two turtles running, really.
Oh, it's like a turtle race. I see.
You haven't ever really seen an airship that like starts
That
out
goes-
of the gate really, really fast.
Yeah.
Gosh, gosh, gosh.
I'm gonna step on the gas.
What
Uh.
a song.
Huh,
Right.
That's gonna cross my mind. My eyebrows are gonna perk up a little bit, and I'm gonna make an audible as I'm gripping onto the rigging for dear life.
I don't imagine we're going that quickly.
You said brace yourself, so I'm gonna do what you said. You know.
Exactly.
Anyway, I mean we're being chased around by a giant Earth Titan, so.
What?
Aries, how fast does it go when I shift it into maximum overdrive?
Not much faster. You can't really control the speed of the winds, my dude.
When he says brace himself, and then we don't go very much faster, I'm gonna kind of not like loosen my grip, but like I'm gonna be less braced. I'm just gonna kind of like look around, like, oh,
Pretty impressive, huh?
for an airship, yeah.
Just shut
So what are your names?
My name is Raldir. Pleasure to meet you. Raldir.
Pleasure.
Raldir
Oh, my.
Silverleaf, kind of making an emphasis on my last name because I'm royalty.
Never heard of him.
I'm gonna like shrug and be like, all right.
my name is Allah.
Let her make both of your acquaintances.
She's giving him a small bow. I'm trying not to fall.
Let's see. So how close is this sandstorm? Like,
It's about a mile off, my dude.
Okay, and have we?
Still,
Uh,
we're not going that fast.
no.
Not even in maximum overdrive. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go to the back where he is, because I'm guessing isn't that where he is in the back, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the back where he is, and is there? Okay, so is this like the deck of a ship, so I could see out the back?
Yeah.
You know what? As an effort to kind of push us, I'm going to shoot my thunder cannon out the back,
Oh my god.
just to kind of try to cause some force.
Before he destroys the bottom half. No.
Speed boost.
Before you destroy the railing at the back.
Oh lord.
I'm gonna kind of try to like hang on to the side while I'm shooting it because
Don't
like
do that.
It's not worth it.
hang on. To
Can
the
I
back.
see him like preparing his gun?
Yeah, it's you haven't really ever seen anything like what he's holding. It's a strange weapon to
If I had finished my lore, yes, I would have.
you. No,
But
that's
Ow.
the thing about this is player to player. Well, this is DM to player.
That's
You've
that's
never
the thing
seen.
about it.
That's the thing about thunder cannons. They look nothing like each other.
It's it's a
They're
personal
entirely
thing, yeah.
unique.
I'm gonna
Whatever
try
you're
to make
gonna
my-
do, don't do it.
I'm going to try and make my way to the front to get a nice view.
From what you said, if you do anything to hit that creature, it's gonna become enraged.
Well, you're the captain, and I'm gonna make a little 2-finger salute thing, and I'm gonna put my gun away.
I appreciate that, but I'm the same as anyone else.
You know, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you saved our skin, so that's something.
I mean, isn't that what everyone would do?
Thinking back to the tiefling who caved in the cave or caved in the ruins. Most people, yeah,
I'm gonna
most
walk
people.
over.
Does
Not
your
good
ship have a
experiences, eh?
name?
It's actually just Old Rusty.
Old Rusty.
Oh, Rusty.
Because I did get this as an old rusted thing. I
Uh,
worked on it.
Hey, Valdia, what do you think Cosman and that type thing on?
wait, hold on. Can you repeat that last part?
But where did Cosman and that type thing went?
Hmm. I don't know.
Oh,
Allies of yours, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Allies for a while, I suppose. It was a bit of a complicated story, I guess.
Now that
I
you're
think
talking about
Cosman's a bit
allies,
less.
how's my cloaked friend doing? That's the
Wait.
entire reason I came here in the first place. I
Oh.
didn't get a distress signal.
Oh.
I was plumb worried.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna say, "Well, I regret to inform you that he
Don't
is."
say another word.
The ship
These
moves
things
away from
happen.
you and you fly away.
Ah!
I kick you off.
Don't say another word as he throws me off the back.
I've always been prepared for something like this to happen.
I'm very sorry.
You what?
As long as
What?
You what?
I've always been prepared for something like this to happen. Just so it wouldn't hit me so hard now. We all have to be prepared to die.
Mm-hmm.
Those are very wise words.
Especially in this line of duty.
I'm sure it's dangerous to be an airship pilot.
No, you dolt!
Then what line of work are you in then?
Same as you!
You know what? Under my breath, you know what? Like I'm gonna like turn my head to the side a little bit. Under my breath. At this age?
Make a perception check. You heard him.
You better believe at this age! I'm still young and sprightly. I'm still in my prime. I say, taking my hands off and just tapping my arm. My
When he
muscle.
takes his hand off the wheel, can I kind of like grab at it? Like if someone like took their hands off a steering wheel in a car, like the next person, like the person in the passenger seat, would probably grab the wheel. I'm gonna like grab the wheel, like really stressed out. Just like
You don't know anything about piloting an airship.
I know. I'm just gonna grab the wheel. I can see that now. I can see that now.
So you grab the wheel and you turn it in such a way that the whole thing starts to go over sideways.
I'm gonna slap his hand off.
I didn't say I'd turn it.
No, it was much lighter than you thought it would be, even just placing your
Oh.
hand on it.
And I just like pull it just by grabbing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna slap his hand away and quickly just get back on the wheel. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Don't worry about that. That's already in the past. Water under the bridge. Don't worry about it.
Please never do that again. That's very scary.
The missus is right. I could have fallen over.
I definitely won't be piloting an airship anytime soon.
You're good at this.
You never know. This one's just built for me.
So, might I ask when you got this vessel? Just out of curiosity.
That's a good question. When did I get this vessel?
Oh my, is he that old?
50? No.
Maybe.
Doesn't sound right. Huh. Now, that's a mighty fine question. But I can't answer it right now.
Okay.
Probably when we're not facing near death.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Fair point.
I'm gonna kind of look back a little. What's the status?
It's just
Yeah.
a huge sandstorm.
Oh, I was asking Reldir.
Has anything changed back there? Like,
No.
has like the distance changed? It's still just like a mile.
It's still roughly about a mile.
Can I see like if it's gotten closer or farther away? Because you said roughly a mile.
Yeah, it's still roughly a mile. Yeah, go ahead and make another perception check.
All right.
It's gaining on you.
Oh no.
All right. All right. Perception. Oh.
You can't really tell if it's getting closer or farther just by the huge, massive sandstorm that's concealing whatever was there.
Mm. I'm going to look to Grafford, and I'm going to say, not much has changed. It's still kind of a mile.
All right, I'm gonna try something.
Okay.
I'm gonna say brace yourselves again. But
Okay.
it's like I don't know if how they're gonna take that. Brace
You know,
yourself.
now that I know that this
Anything
guy, how easily this airship can move now, I'm gonna kind of like, you know how it's like not like grab on anything, but like people like setting themselves, almost like when they're like ready to fight, they kind of like set their feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set myself.
I'm gonna look for an air current.
Make a perception check with proficiency.
I was hoping you were
Ooh.
gonna say a nature.
He can see air.
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you make a nature check if you want.
Ooh.
With
Yo, he can see
proficiency.
air
Yeah.
currents. That's neat.
19.
You spot an updraft that seems to be, as you're watching the winds, sort of as a byproduct of this sandstorm, you're being pushed away from it and upwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say either brace yourselves now or get tumbled.
I'm gonna quickly grab onto the rail.
When he says "get tumbled," that kind of like resonates with me. It's like, oh god, I don't want to get tumbled. I am going to immediately go to ground. Like I am going to just like hit the deck.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring us into the updraft. I'm gonna brace myself on the wheel as well. Feet
So-
firmly planted.
You begin to steer towards this updraft, and then suddenly, I'm gonna need each of you guys to make a dex saving throw. Actually, strength saving throw.
Strength. Oh,
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Strength.
Whee!
Oh, jeez.
The
boy.
pilot goes flying off.
No, you guys didn't see it because of the way that you were throwing the dice, but I'll not throw a natural one.
Yeah, -1, so that's 0.
I've also
Ow.
got a 4 on mine.
Very tired after what.
Oh no, am I gonna? Everyone's gonna fly off but me, and I'm gonna have to steer this thing.
So each of you are pressed into the pressed downwards into the wood by the harsh winds that are beating down as a result of you guys being pushed up so suddenly. And
Anna gets knocked out by the wood.
Oof.
technically, both of you guys are going to take, just from all this pressure, about 66 bludgeoning damage.
66? Oh, I heard 66, not
Oh.
6d6.
6d6.
That was scary.
66.
No, so both of you guys take 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I'm good.
Oh, yay! I'm down again.
So Anna hits her head on something and just gets knocked out.
Oh. Well, I can't save her.
Jeez.
Oh, wait, yes I can.
I can
Oh
help
my
her out
God.
too. Don't worry, I got you.
Alright. Wait, but don't take your hands off the wheel!
Don't worry about that. Hold on. First things first, I need to get back up.
Yep,
That hurt.
you're pressed into
Like-
the ground. It hurt a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself up as quickly as possible because hands are off the wheel.
So you do so, if fighting against the winds while trying to hoist yourself up.
I'd assume my nose is broken.
No, you fell on your back.
Oh, I thought cause like I braced myself, and I thought I fell like on the wheel, like head hitting the wheel and then
You're-
hitting the ground.
You're so old that your back and your hip is broken.
I'm not that old actually.
Oh, you just look old.
Ah,
Oh.
Doesn't look
Anyway,
old.
but,
I look like a sprightly young chick.
sprightly
Look at
young.
me.
Hey, wait, we both have white hair.
No, you don't have white hair.
Yeah, he does have white hair.
His hair looks so blue though.
Why am I always the opposite?
But
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself up. I'm gonna reach into my my alchemy pouch, and I'm gonna pull out the healing dot or draught dot. More dots, even more dots.
Mortal.
I would say that you, like, the duration that thing lasts.
It's 1 hour.
Alright, I'll allow it.
you pelt her in the head with it.
What were you gonna say?
Because, like, I don't know if
Time
you.
moving really quick now.
Oh no, I don't know if you would have prepared it more so that you were more busy searching for the spot that they were supposed to be in the duration that it has. Because, I mean, you have things on your ship. This is an expedition, like this is a personal vessel, but you do have some of the things scattered around your ship. But like I said, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh, I thought I'd always keep my alchemist pouch on my side.
Yeah, I'm saying you have other things on your ship though that were left there from the last time it was used.
Yeah. I know my jar of mayo's probably somewhere.
Jar of mayo. Your alchemist jug.
It's literally just labeled jar of mayo.
Jar of mayo. It's filled with honey. It still says jar of mayo.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the healing. Sorry, that really got me. The healing draught. DOT.
Healing more dots, more dots.
More dots, even more dots. 50 DKP minus. And I'm gonna give it to Raldir. Hurry, go and tilt her head upwards and make her drink it. She'll be
Aye,
fine
aye.
after that.
I guess I'll take it and I'll run myself over.
He handed you poison. You're dead.
Oh my wow.
I
No,
gotta-
I've seen they do.
Run myself over here. Do as he said. Tilt her head up. Make her drink it.
So he actually gave you alchemist fire.
You see, that was his urine bottle.
Oh lord.
You see, these trips are really long.
So
Here,
as you begin to
should I-
make your way over, struggling as you do so, you hear two loud booms in the distance.
Booms? Somebody say boom?
Oh boy.
Oh, it's behind us.
It is behind us. You're crying in the corner.
So what's everybody doing?
Okay, so is she alive now?
Yeah, should I?
I actually need you to make
I
a
need to roll it.
dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
No. To see if he dropped the bottle.
Oh.
The winds are very difficult. No, you're good.
Okay.
I was about to say.
Okay, so she's alive now, or not knocked out.
Well, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Let the dice determine that one.
Hey.
I don't know if that'll be enough.
Well, I'm negative 15.
Oh.
Still?
No,
Or-
not
or-
still.
Oh, so you're at
Oh,
negative
so you're at
3.
negative 3 now.
But you don't know that. You just seem to look like it patched up some of the wounds that were on her body, but she's still not conscious. Negative health and health numbers are not a thing.
I'm going to look up to Grafford and I'm going to say, well, she's still not conscious. I'm gonna. I'll keep the bottle with me.
I can't just tell you to take it over here. You could fall. Or worse.
It's
I can
It's
fall off
fine.
the boat.
I'm going to use Healing Hands, which, as an action, I can touch a creature and cause it to regain a number of hit points equal to my level.
Okay.
Plus 6.
So you get 6 health back and you regain consciousness once again for the 3rd time today.
Usually it's me saving Raldir, but it seems like he's saving you right
Seriously, now I'm the savior. Okay, so seeing
by
she's
the way,
conscious.
If you can, give me my vial back. I need that.
No, I got you.
He just chucks it over the edge.
I try to toss it to him, the winds carry it off.
No!
As you can see a glimmer in the distance, the Titan rises from the earth and hits him in the head. But seeing that she's conscious now, I'm gonna calmly say, "Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead." And I'm gonna run back up to old Grafford.
Like that. What I see.
You hear echoing in the distance.
The same thing, the Earth thing.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I'm gonna give Grafford his vial back.
Gonna put it back in the alchemy bag.
I would also like to point out that it's at this point that you notice the skies are growing dark.
Oh boy.
This is very bad.
I am very concerned.
I can tell.
Piloting in this kind of weather is gonna be very dangerous.
Yeah, I say, kind of looking around at the dark sky.
And I need you, Mr. Pilot, to make a perception check.
I ain't too good at those, Captain.
You're the captain.
Myself?
I'm the captain.
You catch a glimpse in the shadows of what seems to be a huge mountain swinging towards you, or rather coming to you rather quickly. Seemingly appearing out of the thick shadows.
It's his mother! Ah!
Don't look now.
Roast on Grafford.
There's what seems to be a mountain approaching quite quickly.
Oh boy, so it was what I thought. Okay, This is not good. This is bad.
As it slams into the side, barely, you kind of pull up, and it kind of still scrapes the underside, and it like shifts the whole ship. As for a moment you see what look like two green ovuloid shapes through the dark clouds.
Oh boy.
Two green shapes, like
two
from the clouds?
two large ovals, like you see it some like through the clouds.
So all we see are two green ovuloid objects.
So there's
from
just
between the clouds.
No, think like you were looking through a black filter.
Okay. So those just kind of like scrape through.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna die.
For what?
Now, Missy. Now's not the time to think like that.
What did I not do?
Just thinking back to the times I've had to revive her today. Yeah.
And the question is, who has revived each other more? Have I revived you more? Have you revived me?
Now we're even.
All right, you two. I'm gonna need you two to go. Go inside the captain's quarters. Stay safe. Can't risk you two getting killed on my account.
Are you sure you'll be okay?
This is a very small vessel. It doesn't have an underside, really.
Oh.
It's a personal vessel, not a full-on ship.
I thought it had a little room.
It's meant to just be piloted. Like, it's meant for, like, 1 or 2 people. There isn't really a place to, like, sleep in.
Okay, well.
My personal ship isn't as personal as I thought it'd be.
It's not like an RV.
That's kind of what I thought.
You don't have an RV. It's like think like a dinghy. Like how it's just
Yeah,
one.
but even
A dinghy does not have a personal room. I'm talking like a rowboat, like where it's just open like that. It's bigger than that, and it has like sails and stuff. But no, it doesn't have a room. Personal
Never
vessel.
mind.
I really wish I had the tiny hut spell, so I could just, like, room.
Oh, don't you really wish the cloakman was alive so you guys just didn't have to deal with this?
Yeah, we could just, like, walk into the thing and be like, ah, yes. Very nice.
Yeah, but I'd still have to be piloting.
Yeah.
I wish my clone friend was still alive.
Deep down, you really miss him.
I brought something of him.
You remember all the good times.
Wouldn't it be nice?
We're alive.
Oh. Looking back to all the dead characters of D&D Universe, wouldn't it be nice if we were alive?
I know, right? Alright.
Well, so, there's nothing we can really do except for...
And since it came from the clouds, that means the entirety of the being is up there.
Whoa.
So we don't know if it has gotten, like, if it knows we're here or anything, because that could have very well been its feet.
Oh, jeez.
Could have.
Yeah.
But you said it scraped the bottom of the ship, right?
Yes, because you got the perception check in to try and move above whatever you were about to hit.
Oh, so... I don't know what the hell that is then. That could be its arm. Could be trying to grab at us.
Wait a second.
Oh, boy.
There's a bit of a pause. And suddenly, in what was about the past 5 minutes, the sandstorm seems to have set upon you. Even though it was just a mile away ago, 5 minutes ago.
This is really bad for the ship. It'll change our directions.
Yeah, there's no telling where we could go now.
Oh, it is pitch black around you. Like, not pitch black where you would, if you didn't have dark vision, you wouldn't be able to see, but like, there's just swirling sandstorm around you, and it's very hard to see each other.
Luckily, I have goggles and dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm as blind as a bat.
Well, yeah, and the two people with dark vision are the ones who are together, and then there's the one who doesn't, who's just like over
All
there.
3 of you have dark vision. What the hell? She's elven in nature. They have dark vision.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Now I know.
Well, there we go.
So, what's everybody doing?
Trying to keep us alive.
Well, you're piloting, obviously, but what are the other 2 doing?
You know, can I perception just like over the side of the ship just to see like what all is what? Like see like what's the arm, what's the head, where everything is?
Make a perception check with disadvantage because you're in the middle of a sandstorm.
Yeah. Okay. Perception with disadvantage.
2 1s.
Yo. Everything looks normal. Looks like a perfectly sunny day.
So 7.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice
You
if
can't
we
make
were
out
happy?
anything.
Oh.
It's just this pitch black mess of swirling clouds being sucked into the sandstorm. I would say you roughly got about maybe 150 feet off the ground before you got encompassed.
Okay.
Um, and I'm gonna need you to make another perception check, Grafford, with disadvantage.
Yep.
10. So suddenly,
Adding
it's
proficiency or?
no. This is just you looking
Yeah,
around.
okay. Yeah, I'm done.
So you begin to look around trying to get a bearing on your surroundings, but it's too dark. The sand's swirling around you, scratching against your skin, scraping against the wood, and you begin to see the sails just violently being moved by the wind. And suddenly just as this huge kind of just stone wall, it seems, slams into the side of the ship, and you see parts and bits of it just like cracking and breaking against this. Is a huge wave of force that whatever this wall was carried with it, or maybe it was you just without being able to see slamming into the side of a mountain.
Oh jeez.
I like made a face and did finger guns. I don't know why. Nobody could see that.
Well, now we know.
So suddenly, almost all at once, the sand kind of just blasts away, and you see before you this huge wall of stone.
Oh.
Go up, go up, go up.
Huh.
So hold it.
Well,
So the sandstorm's cleared, right?
Yes. And all you see before you is a huge wall of stone.
I'm gonna take off my goggles and I'm just gonna look up at it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a comparison of how big you guys are comparatively and where you are, because it's time for you to see what you're looking at.
Oh yeah.
all right. Oh! Can we see that it's a big man?
So, you see before you just a huge wall of stone, but upon closer inspection and looking around at your surroundings, by the way, the ship itself is roughly about maybe 60 or 70 feet from end to end, but just the body of this is, you look all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Still, this is still not to scale. I'm just getting rid of some stuff. You are even smaller.
Oh. Oh, jeez.
As you look to the left and you look to the right, you see no end to this stone. And as you look up and around, you see the same green ovals just in the clouds far above you.
Oh.
What is everybody doing?
Um, I'm gonna sit in I'm in silent amazement.
There.
I'm gonna, after all this silent amazement, I'm going to put my goggles back on, like, determined.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
You are not gonna get the best of Grafford Destitor today!
That is quite the last name. Holy shit.
Jeez.
Hold on, I'm just throwing something really quick.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's literally a 1.
Look at the chat. It's a 21.
Oh no, that would have been so awesome if it was actually a 1, like
Oh no.
the odds.
Yeah, it'd be about a 1 in 100.
Yeah. A death ghost comes upon you.
Oh,
It kills
So-
Grafford.
No.
Oh, jeez. You have 4 sails on your boat,
Mm-hmm.
and a few barrels and everything scattered around. So I'm gonna throw a d20, and one of these things is about to become solid gold.
No, not the sails.
One of your sails just became solid gold.
No.
Solid gold is very heavy.
Yeah.
And suddenly the front of the ship starts to tilt forward and downwards, very slowly.
Oh jeez.
I would like to
We're all
grab
there.
onto some rope or whatever is near me. So it's
Uh-oh.
You grab onto the railing.
Raldir, we're gonna need your help.
All
Go
right.
cut that thing off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
This
over
thing
and,
can manage with 3.
see if I can try to cut it off. Just kind of like get up there.
Make an athletics check.
Can I?
Okay.
What kind
You
of
there,
damage
lady, help him too.
Well, I'll try. Oh,
The-
I hope.
The pillar is only large enough for one person at a time.
Hey!
But you manage
Let's go.
to grab onto sort of these pillars that kind of stretch out, these kind of handholds, and you hoist yourself up over and over, like up and again and again and again until you're about 30 feet off the ground. And you're up there. How are you gonna try and get rid of this? It is a solid
Alright.
gold sheet of what used to be a sail.
Well, it's tied on with something. Yeah.
It seems to just be kind of frozen in place almost.
Huh?
Like it looks as though it's suspended in air. Just the way that, because it was in the middle
Like
of
a
being,
statue.
yeah, it's like frozen like a statue almost from being suddenly turned to gold.
It's pretty neat.
Okay, well, because when it was a sail, it had to be connected by like.
Yeah, like there's one at the bottom at the top that seems to be stretched and starting. There are these ropes that were holding it together, and because like, okay, let me try and draw this for you so you know what you're doing. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it like this. We have technology. So here's here's the sail, right? It stretches out like that on either side, and then like the sail, and then it continues to go up like this, and it stretches out again to get to the top.
Which one turned to solid gold though?
It's the whole thing is one sail like that.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
So you're right about there.
Okay.
So to do what you want to do, you would have to go down to the ends over here.
I'm gonna try to go over there. Go
With
ahead.
your natural 20, I'm going to say that you're able to move over, but otherwise I would have had you throw again.
Yeah, but anyway,
So-
because I have a dagger, I'm gonna try to cut the rope.
Easy enough to do. And you watch as it leans forward. The ropes were already being pulled taut, and some of them were like snapping. And you cut it free, and it slides down at a diagonal angle and slams into the side of the ship,
I
like
was gonna
onto the
say,
roof. with its heavy weight, and suddenly the ship tilts forward even more rapidly, and suddenly I'm gonna need everybody who's on the ground to make a strength saving throw.
And then the
Everyone
music
who's on the
starts.
ground.
I'm gonna tell you to kick it.
Strength saving throw?
Yes, strength saving throw.
Well.
So you fly, and at the angle that the wheel is, so like the wheel is here,
Yeah.
you flew and hit one of the other sails and kind of got caught on it, but you're gonna take damage because of the force of impact. Wow, you take 22.
I'm out.
Oh my.
You get knocked
Oh,
unconscious
no.
after getting flung away from the wheel. Anna, you managed to hold your grip.
Oh, thank God.
And with the force, the solid gold sail kind of is on tilt, like on kilter, like it landed in the middle of the railing, but then with its weight kind of more on one side, it just
Can
falls over the side and falls down to the unseeable ground that's just so far from you at this point.
Right, I'm gonna quickly.
Meanwhile-
run over to-
Grafford slides off of the sail and lands on the deck. Just
Can I run over to him and use spare the dying? Because I do not have any healing.
that stabilizes him. It does not wake him up. He's still out.
Damn it. At least he's stabilized. Okay.
-1 death saving throw.
Well, it was only bad because I only broke off one end, so I'm gonna go to the other end. I'm gonna.
Oh no, the it snapped all the other
It's
ropes
just-
and it just
okay.
fell off and over. That's what it just said.
Yeah,
Oh, alright,
the entirety
okay,
of
yeah,
it.
And that-
I misunderstood.
That's why he flung forward, because of the sudden impact of the golden
Yeah,
sail hitting
yeah.
the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Well, our pilot is now. He's stabilized, but.
I was gonna tell you, kick the thing so it goes like further.
Yeah. Huh. Well, alright. But you didn't.
I didn't because I didn't get another chance to speak.
You're unconscious.
I am unconscious.
So,
I am stabilized.
right now I need to know what Raldir is doing.
Well, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back down onto the deck.
Okay, you climb back down.
I want to do something, but it'd be really stupid.
CPR.
No, I know
So
exactly
what
what
is
he's gonna
the?
do.
What is, no, that's actually not what I was gonna do. Because he's stabilized.
No, bet. I know exactly what you're gonna do.
Okay, well, what is the status of the ship right now?
It looks like it's about to kind of fly right into this stone wall.
Well, I'm gonna go to the wheel.
Oh.
Just kind of rolling my eyes like, jeez. And I'm gonna, from what I've seen this dude do, I'm gonna see if I can steer it away from this thing.
Make a dexterity check with disadvantage because you have no idea what you're doing.
Alright.
2 nat 20s.
I know, right?
Ay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, dexterity.
Oh, I thought you were gonna throw the dice then do that.
So you pull on the wheel. You know a little bit about ships, but nothing about airships.
Whoa.
So you put your hands on the wheel and you start to spin it to the right, but you forgot to pull the stability lever. So it starts to turn clockwise. And as soon as it starts to turn, you immediately flip it back, but the wheel is really sensitive. And you starts to go counterclockwise the other way. And you pull it back, you just hold it.
Oh.
Like
As the
bullcrap
as
bird.
the front of the ship begins to crack and make contact with the stone wall in front of you.
Yeah, I really don't have much time. Please do something quick.
Yeah, I'm trying. Believe me. Would it be a repeated action for me to try to do it better?
Well, first let's see what Anna's doing.
Okay.
I am holding on to something tight right now while trying to hold on to grab with one hand while trying to hold on to grab forward with the other. So yeah.
I'm pretty small, so yeah. You could probably do that.
All right. Grafford, go ahead and make just a Constitution check.
Check?
Yeah, check.
Okay.
All right. You begin to creak open your eyes, and you just seem to be resting in the lap of the same woman that you seem to have picked up not too long ago that you still don't know the name of.
What?
I do.
Did I tell him?
Do you?
I do
don't
know.
Whatever.
I told him my name.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So you wake up kind of just resting in her lap as she's holding onto the railing, and you just see this huge stone wall as you see the front of your ship starting to be cracked into it, and you gaze over to the controls and you see Raldir trying to his best to pilot this thing.
Well, at least you said I'm trying my best.
Now, was it? Get me to the controls, quickly!
Like your legs
are
broken.
I'll carry him to the control.
Okay. You move about halfway there while she's carrying you.
I'm gonna thank her for what as little as she got me to, and I'm gonna like kind of use the railway to get myself most of the way over there.
I don't think you guys heard the part about where I said it's stabilized. It's no longer tilted.
Oh,
I said that he was
yeah,
he was moving with it until he
I thought I
just
had,
put it
like,
back to the way it
1 HP
was.
though.
Yeah, but it's not like your legs are broken. I would have told you your legs are broken.
Oh, well then I'm gonna.
I'm sure he's not feeling peachy keen.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna try like hobble my way over there.
You do so without much issue, really.
his legs are the only things that are perfectly fine.
Everything else has been torn off my body.
Yeah, you are just a pair of legs.
And my head's on my legs.
Your head is just like attached to the top of your two legs.
The little nutski thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the controls and I'm gonna turn us away as quickly as possible so the rest of the most of the ship doesn't get crushed.
Okay. Make a dexterity check with disadvantage because you're at 1 health and you're still discombobulated. You manage to steer it to the right, but not in time enough where the side of the ship is not scraping against the side of this wall. You seem to have avoided a majority of the direct contact, but now it's just scraping against the side.
You good? You good?
You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop.
Don't worry, Captain.
What about those scratches?
Don't worry, old Rusty. We'll get you there safe.
Oh.
I'm gonna healing word myself.
Okay.
Can I
You're
look
gonna
around
be
the
okay.
area for any escape?
Yeah, you see about 360 degrees of escape called
Air.
called jumping off the edge.
Oh.
That's called death.
All right, so the front of the ship is kind of broken up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to use mending on it.
That would take a while.
Wait.
What if we had help?
Wait on.
You can only do up to about a foot of repairing if you read the mending skill. It's not like you're able to reform all the wood that's being scratched. It's like like a cubic foot.
Well, I mean, seeing as I can't pilot this thing, I'm gonna do what I can. So yeah, I'm just gonna start trying to mend this ship.
Yeah, you're just mending small little bits and pieces as you can.
Yeah.
The front of it is completely unsalvaged unsalvageable And I'll draw as to why, because it was like this, right? Like coming out at the edge. This whole part got like crushed into the impact,
I
and
thought
it's like that almost now.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna try to fix the little bits at a time.
So like you're over here trying to like, here's the railing, right? And it's like kind of broken in places, and you're just like, I'm fixing it, I'm helping.
I'm helping.
As it starts to like grow and reform and mend.
Yeah.
Dig, dig.
So, what level do I get my second level spell slots? Because I don't think what I read was right. At 7th level, it showed I get.
Give me a second. For now, just use it at 1st level.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. Because from what I read, it was 7th level is when we get.
Yeah.
3rd level.
You only have
slots.
3 3rd level slots. 3 1st level slots.
Yes. Yeah.
Oops.
Which means you can't be casting Cure Wounds at 2nd level either, Delta.
Oh.
Just wanted to make sure about that.
Okay.
Wait, you used healing word?
Right, because I
No, Cure Wounds.
Okay.
used that earlier.
I was like, healing word is only a D4, lol.
Lol.
Huh.
And my casting is. I want to say.
Intelligence.
Yeah, +5. Feels good, man. Actually, does feel good. Get back 13. Alright.
Alright.
Let's try and get ourselves out of here.
Yeah.
Make another dexterity check with proficiency. So 15.
15.
So you begin to kind of just turn the ship as you rotate the wheel to the right, and you begin to pull away a little bit until there's about maybe 40 or 50 feet between you and the wall, and you get this, as you're kind of essentially zooming out, you start to see that it looks like a carved stone abdomen.
Look at those chiseled abs.
Haha. Chiseled abs. Oh my god. Come on. Come on.
You can't see it right now, but I am severely disappointed.
Yo, like seriously.
Yeah.
I will jump in front of that train.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Yeah.
So you're just gonna
Let's
try
see about
and
getting out of its range.
you're just gonna keep on. So you just try and move as quickly as you can, but the winds are almost seemingly still. So you're barely drifting along.
Start lightning load again. The higher we
Whatever
get,
he
the
says.
better.
you know what? I'll look back and I'll ask, do you want me to keep mending the ship or lighten the load?
Lighten the load.
All right. And I'll go back and I'll start throwing the things off.
Okay.
Or if
So
there are none of those things left, then
you continue to lighten the load,
lighten the load.
Lighten the load.
Right down the road.
and you begin to kind of raise in altitude, ever so slowly. Until you come up to, and as you're getting further away, at an angle sort of like this, like that. You get this zoomed out. You're about 130 feet away from it now, and you see kind of just this huge shoulder, and it finally clicks. This thing is a humanoid creature. It's walking on 2 legs, and it has huge stretching antlers that come out from its head with this long, stringy hair that drapes down past the antlers over its chest in front of its neck.
It's Achilles!
He's been reborn as a Shadow of Colossus beast.
I feel reborn.
Whoa.
Keep lightening the load. I'll make sure we get out of here with our skin still attached.
I'm gonna keep lightening the load.
Lightening the load.
Same as I say.
Can I use hit die?
Only use hit die during short rest. Made that ruling during Draenora.
Gotcha. How long has it been?
Since when?
Since Anna drank the potion.
Not even 5 minutes, dude.
No.
Forgot this is like a combat sequence. Time is moving slow.
Or like everything is happening quickly.
Time is at a standstill.
Zawardo.
Wow.
Time has stopped.
So they're gonna keep lightening that load, and I'm gonna keep driving us out of here.
Do you want me to throw your steamroller off the side?
Is that what though?
Zawardo. That's why everything's going so slow.
You're just
As
gonna,
soon as we get to shoulder level, it pinches us and we all die.
you're just gonna keep. It doesn't seem to, as you've realized
Like,
that
notice?
it's a humanoid creature. It doesn't seem to be making any
Hostile?
kind of motion towards you. Instead, it just seems to be walking forward. Just
Existing.
He's just there. Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect that.
I just
And
want to live a quiet life.
as you make distance away from it, you can see it just slowly moving through the desert, and that's where we're gonna take our break.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll be right
This is
back.
awesome.
that is really awesome. Yo.
That creature is
It's
crazy
just like
cool.
there. It's just existing, which you
I
know
want to live a quiet life.
I can respect his vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Killer Queen has already touched it.
Killer Queen has already touched that Earth Titan as he just blows up. Raldir has already touched that Earth Titan.
Technically, the boat did.
Oh,
Old Rusty, you know,
has already touched that Earth Titan.
existing. Alright, I'm gonna be right back, man.
Yeah, I really gotta go to the bathroom.
A challenger approaches. How are you? Yeah, I'm pretty good. So, so, have you watched Draenora. I really should. I might not be a part of it, but it's probably the best series. So watch it Saturdays. Yeah. Should also watch this movie. You feel like you're talking to yourself 101. Yeah. I wonder how everyone is doing this song. I feel like they're doing great. Yeah. Just. Yeah.
So, well, what do you guys feel about Grafford so far?
I love him. What a gentleman he is.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. My real question is, how is everyone this fine evening?
I am feeling good. I'm eating some lasagna right now.
That sounds great.
It is. My mom makes the best food.
Ooh. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back while I eat. I don't wanna make any noises.
I'm guessing that's Delta.
Yeah.
Now there's one that remains.
Mm-hmm.
I summoned by the ears. For your word. Don't be funny.
If you'd come back, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's going on anymore?
I don't know.
But I've been told, easy come as easy go. There has been a lot of stake in this game. Very much for saving me like 4 times now.
Oof.
You nearly saved me as much as, or you basically saved me as much as in one day, as much as I've saved you in every single.
You know, it's what I do.
Hello, in this sticky note can. With some no whiskey. I'm just gonna put that there for now. I'm gonna get back just in case it does happen. You never know when we will have a long rest.
Yeah. A long rest is definitely needed.
Yeah, it is really.
But, you know, that'll happen when it happens, I guess.
Now get the back my spell. I need my spells badly. Or at least my healing spells.
I'm
Well,
just happy
everyone is
that we're
going to
alive.
die. I really thought I was gonna die when there was suddenly a cavern being formed and me nearly falling.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna fly off the ship that one time.
Oh Jesus Christ!
When we hit the updraft.
Yeah, but instead I just got
Yeah.
smacked in the face. By a bit of wood, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Then there was me falling unconscious after I fell beneath. And now, what happens next? I got a feeling I'm going to die soon. So, it's been too long.
Yeah, and I don't have any of my healing things left, so.
Yeah, this is very scary.
Yeah.
But I hope it got away. I hope.
Yeah, I think from what seems to be happening right now, I think we're pretty safe.
Hopefully. Next thing you know, he turns.
Oh yeah, he turns his head. Yeah.
You're going.
Really, all he has to do is turn his head and just kind of slap us out of the air, and we'll all be dead.
I mean, actually, yeah, he'll be able to. Our airship is probably slower than his hand.
Yeah.
Damn, this small thing.
And we're really high up, so if he even just knocked us a little bit and someone falls off, well, they'd be dead from this height.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, it's dangerous up here.
Yeah. Oh, how many things I have to tell my other D&D friend and my
Gyrocopter.
He's back. Well, he's been here. He's just been eating.
Oh, I am also eating.
I just put my plate away.
I already ate. So yeah.
How neat is that?
Look, our DM is
That's
back.
pretty neat.
Gyrocopter.
Hello, our fair DM.
Our very graceful and gracious DM.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Okay,
How are ya?
Hi.
coming back from our break very shortly. I have it written here that we're gonna go at 2:31 on the timer.
You can go at 2:31 in the morning.
About 50 seconds, we're gonna get back into it, and for those first 10 seconds, I want silence.
Mhm.
30 seconds.
Slurp, slurp.
All right, silence. Three, two, one, and we're back from our break.
Hello.
So, once again, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, hello again. We don't have ads yet for Orizon, so it was just a quick cut.
Shoot.
But for those of you watching on Twitch, I hope you had a nice break.
And low
Sorry you
stinkies.
had to wait so long.
Nope, our breaks are almost always about 20-ish minutes long. That one was about 18 minutes long.
This is actually a quicker break.
This is a quicker break.
Ah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been sitting here the whole time with my headset on.
You left the chat.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I left, I came back because I was like, okay, whoops. But
Oh.
like I said, I was just sitting here the whole time, not saying anything. So the bot
What
moved
a
me.
gracious dear.
Yeah, so I heard you be like, I summoned the DM, and I could have said something. I could have been like, oh.
Well, the thing is, you weren't here. You weren't here for the other thing.
Yeah.
I've been here since Yosh sat down with his lasagna
Well, no, that was after that.
How do you know it's lasagna?
because he said lasagna.
I did say
Because
lasagna.
I-
Angie.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I started praising you, saying how fair you were.
Yeah, and you're
Wow,
like, we're lucky that we're not dead. Yeah, I've been here.
Nah.
So
We never
Anyway.
said anything about
I
being
was gonna say we
dead.
never said anything.
yeah, you did say something like, I'm just glad we're alive. Heard that.
Oh,
For now.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Ah.
Said like, I'm glad that we're alive.
Roll back the tape. Roll back the
Oh.
tape.
I'm gonna go
right
back
now.
and watch this, and I will get the clip and I will
Yeah.
play it for you.
Oh, Jesus.
And when
Anyway,
you see it, I'll be right.
all right.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we're coming back in. There is this huge Titan who you're slowly sailing away from. And as you're moving through the clouds, this altitude, it's a little hard to breathe, but not very. So the three of you are sailing through the air, Grafford at the wheel, keeping it on a gentle and steady course. What is everybody doing?
Well, sorry about your ship.
Do you want me to keep lightening the load?
No, that should be enough.
All right, I'm gonna stop lightening the load, and I'm gonna go to the front of the ship, and I'm gonna keep mending.
I shall help Rowdy mend the ship.
Do you have the spell mend?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then you guys begin to buff out the scratches, but like I said,
What about those scratches?
the front of the ship is completely unsalvageable. It cannot be repaired by mending.
That's
Yeah.
quite nice of you two, but this old rust bucket is due for some repairs anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And maybe I'll just go to a small bottle.
All right, so we're at like that guy's like ear level, that big thing.
No, you guys have sailed quite a distance away at this
Yeah,
point.
we're past.
All right, all right.
All right.
He was so cool.
He was awesome.
Yeah. That's very scary though.
Hmm.
This is a lot.
I'm going to look back to the old Grafford. I'm gonna ask.
I know.
I meant old as in like my old friend. My old friend.
I
Well,
just met you.
Oh, and this is crazy.
Here's my number.
But here's my ship. Get on, you lazy.
But I'm going to ask him. So, might I ask where we're headed now, or are we just kind of heading off in this direction?
We're heading back.
Okay,
We have to make. You have to make the report after all.
that is true. That is true.
You've taken too long over there. You haven't sent a distress. No message. Nothing. We were all worried sick. Well, all save for one. But no matter.
To send. They sort of betrayed us at the very beginning.
I never sent anyone on this message. Never sent anyone. This was your captain's job. I just came in to check on my cloaked friend.
Who was our captain, Aries? Was it one of the people?
The captain of the expedition party was the
cloakman. Oh,
Oh.
that's a shame. Huh.
But he's gone. So you two are gonna have to make a report.
Aye.
You have no idea what he's talking about with reports and stuff, but
I'm just saying aye. Like, all right.
like you guys met the expedition party as they were stopping off in some nearby town or close to where you were. You have no idea where you're going. You're just being taken through the air by this gnome that you just met.
Huh.
Now where we're heading, it's the headquarters. That's where all the captains are. We all investigate ruins and the sorts.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is usually the job for a captain, but since you two are the only ones I saw, I decided to pick you two up.
Yeah, we definitely needed it.
If it weren't for you, we probably wouldn't have been alive. Thank you.
Yeah. We probably would have been crushed.
So I'm curious. How did you hear of that thing's nature, so to say?
Well, hey, you know, hey, around. All I'm gonna say is, I've heard a lot of things.
Now another question. How many of there were you?
Well, let's see. There were 5, I believe. 5, yeah. Wait,
There were 6.
6. Yeah.
How many were confirmed dead?
Well, I do believe it's just us, cause we escaped and the ruins were collapsing in on themselves.
Tightwing may still be alive. He was outside.
Yeah, he escaped. Or possibly
Typhon, you
escaped.
say?
Yeah.
Was he red by any chance?
Yeah. Why?
I believe that's someone that always joined with that cloaked fellow.
Make a history check.
Who? Him?
Yes, him.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
Just trying to find the thing.
Oh.
You know that he's talking about Jal, the red-skinned tiefling that used to move with the expedition party headed by Azure Fire. Make sure I get the last name correct. Azure Fire Widowgast, the captain, with his crew, Enzo Shadowthorn, the ranger.
There's a lot of names to keep track of right now.
And then Jal, that's it. D''Jall.
Of course, there's an apostrophe name.
That was the name of the tiefling. And then the you also know, but they haven't told you yet, that there used to be a woman who was also part of the expedition, and her name was simply Sarah.
Azure Fire.
Oh wait, there were 7
Jal.
people.
And who else?
Kaze, no, not Kaze, my bad.
Kazekage.
No, not Kaze. Enzo Shadowthorn.
And so
And
that's a cool name.
Sarah.
Oh,
You'd have to
no,
check the records to find out what her last name was, but didn't know her first name.
I forgot about the woman.
Because of who you are, you know who the people are, but you don't know them. You didn't know them by person. The only person that you knew was Azure Fire, which is spelled Azufyre. Because I know you spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I did the color and then
That's what you got with your 27 history check.
okay. Thank you.
I am very sorry about that. My family decided to reboot the internet.
Oh yeah, we just saw you disconnect.
Very, very sorry.
That's fine.
So if I remember correctly, there should have been four of you, and then there are 2 more of you.
And then we had a friend, but he's
Somewhere.
gone. Yeah.
So a total of 7 people.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
And you 2 are the only ones that made it out?
Mm-hmm.
As far as we know.
What a troublesome tale I'm going to have to spin. I'm glad to have met you both, but I'm assuming when we get back, you might not want to continue on this trail.
No.
This line of work isn't suited for everyone. Hell, I thought I wasn't even suited for it.
It's a fun line of work, that's for sure. It has its perks.
I get to go around and hunt things when I get a chance.
You're a fan of hunting, eh?
Mm-hmm. Ever since I was very young, I used to go hunting with my father all the time.
You shouldn't just go around killing wild beasts. Kill what you need. Never in excess.
Fun. Most of the time, it's not necessary.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm in this business to try to make, say, discoveries, maybe find some treasure along the way. Yeah, you know, maybe go and help maybe the more disadvantaged, you know.
A man of pure heart. I'm glad to have met you. Maybe you can join my crew.
Well, it's definitely an eventful crew, so I mean, I have nowhere else to be, so I mean, if you're offering.
If a man as pure as your heart decides to join, what else do I say? But I'm glad to have you. But we'll have to settle that over there.
Aye. But it's good to be here.
I feel much safer here.
Aye.
I wonder
Glad-
how many.
Sorry. Speak up.
Well, that's nothing. It's just me thinking about home.
All right. Oh, I know there isn't much to do on here, other than spin a tale or two.
Other than play dragon chess. Grafford is actually an old dragon chess master.
I've played Dragon Chess for 20 years straight.
You two actually want to play Dragon Chess?
No,
No, it's not right now. Not right now.
I do know a bit about Dragon Chess.
You could. It only involves playing dice.
Would you like to go a couple rounds?
Okay, I find myself a pretty good dragon chess player myself. Sure, why not?
I see you've got a challenge then.
Okay, so allow me to explain the rules.
Oh boy.
So in order to play Dragon Chess, first of all, it starts with a wisdom check on the both of you, adding proficiency if you know how to play the game. Also, after that, after we make the couple of saving throws, whoever wins gets 1 extra dice, and then you throw. The person who wins throws 3d6. The person who loses throws 2d6. And then depending on the outcome, determines the outcome of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some levers to make sure it keeps the ship on course.
So you set I need you to make a nature check really quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly watch from the little staircase over here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
battle
you
the brain.
watch the winds and you look at the currents and you kind of position the ship and then you pull the second lever to your left and it just maintains the whatever configuration that you've already set it in.
It
Alright.
turns the ship on its side.
So, for those of you who have
Upset
been paying
thing.
attention, you know 3/4 of the way to pilot the ship
Hey.
because
Hopefully you've been listening in, kiddos.
the
There will be
right
a test at the end.
the rightmost lever, not the farthest right, but to the right of the wheel, locks its X positioning. So that way, when you're turning it to the left steer and right steer, and the farthest right locks that to the left steer, and the right steer locks the X. That way, you can control the Y, and you can choose the angle at which it's tilted, going up and down, and then the furthest left locks the current settings. And now there's just one mystery lever that you guys don't know anything about.
I'll never press that lever.
No.
Well, you know what it does, but I'm talking just general to everybody, listeners, everybody.
I'll never press that lever.
A single balloon flies up out of nowhere.
you see confetti
Ooh, who the hell pulled the party lever? That's mine.
So,
That's for my birthday.
both of you make a wisdom check,
All right,
adding
plus
proficiency if you know how to play the game.
All right. You said just wisdom check.
Wisdom plus proficiency.
Do you know how to play the game?
Yeah. I have proficiency.
Wait,
I'm
me?
talking about Grifford, yeah.
Oh.
played a couple of match.
But do you have proficiency with the dragon chest?
No, no proficiency.
Okay.
Aha! So wait on. So what's proficiency plus? That's 3.
3.
Or
Yeah.
3.
So
Okay,
you
so
threw.
I got 11.
So you got 3d6. You get 2d6, Crawford.
Mhm.
Yes.
So toss away.
All right, 3d6. Plus anything? Or
Nope.
just
Just
3d6.
the numbers.
What a bad die.
So this is how the game starts. All the pieces are laid out. So a normal dragon chessboard is just usually this wooden box, but Raldir, you pull out your dragon chessboard, which is made of floatstone. So it kind of floats above the ground at a certain altitude, maybe about maybe a foot or two off the ground, and you both sit down on the ground, and
And the
you
pieces
lay out
fly away.
each of the pieces. So after a couple of rounds of maneuvering, your soldiers and your wizards, you accidentally, foolishly leave your lord, Grafford, open to his dragon, and his dragon takes your lord and he wins.
Ah, shucks.
Well, it was a good game, but let me tell you, I have plenty of experience playing dragon chess. I haven't said, I more implied, but I am part of a royal family, so I definitely had a lot of time on my hands.
I never win at these games.
You know,
Even
some
my
of it's
mentor
skill,
back in the day would beat me.
some of it's skill, some of it's luck. You know, one of these days, maybe you'll pull one over on me.
Yeah, perhaps. We'll see.
Eh. Oh,
I'm gonna get up. Well, I'm gonna help him with the the dragon chess.
Clean up, clean
Yeah,
up.
I'll help you clean it
Everybody
up.
do your share.
I should get back on the helm.
Yeah.
Make sure
that'd
I
probably be best.
check on the winds.
Yeah.
So after we put it away, I'm gonna get back on the wheel. I'm gonna chunk that lever back. And
Pull the lever.
I'm gonna check if there's another wind current that we can take that'll maybe get us there a little quicker.
I'm just gonna. Well, that's why I had to do a nature check, so you could just watch the winds.
Okay.
So
What was that noise?
that was a sneeze.
Achoo.
Gesund.
Yeah.
Bleh.
You sail on through the sea of clouds as the day grows older, as night begins to wash over this desert.
Oh, it's pretty night tonight.
Hi.
Is there a clear sky?
You're barely like the altitude you're at. You're basically almost in the clouds, so you can't really.
Yeah, exactly. I've already ruined both of your statements.
Exactly's.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try to recover my statement. I'm gonna recover my statement. And
Hold
say,
on, no. Don't
say,
worry about it.
The clouds, they lead to a kind of almost mysterious atmosphere,
Almost as if you're sailing through a thick fog.
You two want to see something amazing?
You pull the lever.
I pulled the last lever. We do a loop-de-loop.
And do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go to one of the bags hanging off the side, and I'm gonna toss some of the contents out, just enough so we pass over the clouds.
All right.
Ooh.
Is it a nice clear sky with the fractured moon in sight? Wait, wrong. Wrong campaign.
You sail over the clouds, and obviously it would be clear as you're over the clouds. You see an ocean of stars just resting like tiny gemstones, pearls, crystals in a sea of midnight blue water. 3 moons have arisen. Rest gently. You see them clearly.
Ooh.
This night. It is very cold. Each of you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's one way to make this see
All
some
right.
of this.
That's fair. At least we get to see this nice night.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was taking down notes.
Well.
You succeed. You succeed.
Yeah.
All of you succeed.
We
Fuck
like
off.
the cold.
The one time we get get through.
The 3 moons shoot a laser beam at you. You die instantly. That's what you get for defying the DM.
Sit down on the steps and look at the sky.
Yes, this is definitely quite amazing.
Do I know the names of the moons, Aries?
Make a history check. Yes, you do. So, the center moon, which is a pale bluish color. Here, let me try and draw what it looks like. I say try.
Try.
So, hold on.
Should probably zoom out, honestly. What the? What the dark?
Ah!
I sort of.
This is one moon. Oh, it's expanding!
Ah!
Wait, what happened while I was gone? Because they did it again.
Oh, don't worry. Nothing important's happening.
Yeah,
We're learning the
We're
learning the law of this land.
learning about the moons.
I'm gonna teach you youngsters about the moons.
So the center moon, at least in gnomish tradition, the name of it is Celeste. And in gnomish folklore and storytelling, it was believed that Celeste was kind of the mother of the universe. Leaving out any kind of religious aspects, this is believed that Celeste gave birth to 2 children. And those are the names, the 2 moons. I need to get my notes so I don't get this wrong. Give me 1 sec. One second.
Don't worry. I'm pretty happy about learning some of this lore.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
And you better believe I'm about to parrot.
Parrot?
like so hard. Yeah, parrot.
So, like I said, the center and largest moon, named Celeste, and she gave birth in, at least in Gnomish, this is sort of the origin of the moons, to 2 children, a son and a daughter. The son being the greenish moon, slightly larger than the purple moon, named Kai with a Q, Q-A-I. And the daughter being named Sari, S-A-R-I. Kai being born first, and it is also believed that some gnomes believe this. Some of the gnomes who don't believe in the pantheon that our world uses, but some gnomes believe at their true roots that after Celeste gave birth to her 2 children, Kai then molded the lands of the planet, and Sari, being the compassionate, caring of the 2, created all of the living life, and gave shape to every creature.
Mm. Neat.
That's all I have to say about the moons. Only
That was
only
beautiful.
only gnomes believe that stuff about the moon.
Time to parrot. Y'all ready for this, kiddos?
All right.
Back in my day.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh,
Ah, neat.
what? Oh, I thought you said. Dang it.
Huh.
So, you see those 3?
Aye.
Long ago, my parents told me of the tale. Oh, this is a gnomish tale, so you might not have heard of something like it.
Okay.
The center moon's name, Celeste. She was the mother that gave birth to everything. You, me, the universe. But she also gave birth to 2 children. That
Okay.
green moon over there is her son, Kai. And the purple moon over there, Sari. And it's said that those 2 gave us what we stand on today. And Sari gave us life, all life on this earth.
Wow.
This is all gnomish culture, though. So, I'm pretty sure you 2 have your own stories.
Can I see if I remember, like,
Make a history check.
Yay! We're
we're
talking about the moons.
we're going in deep now. Now it's like. Also, I'm getting some major like. This is like my grandfather talking to me like this. My pops.
So, Anna. The names of the moons are universally known. They're referred to as Celeste, Kai, and Sadi. But the story of how they came to be and what's different about them is kind of changed through each race. For Tsukikage, they believe that they are the children of the moon. And in your culture, it is believed that your people once descended from the heavens, that the moon, Celeste, is a goddess that she molded and created your people in her image and sent you down to planet and to give you freedom and allow you to create, so that she blessed you with her good graces. And to be this close to the moon for you, Anna, is very awe-inspiring. Now, Kai and Sadi are supposed to represent the two halves of how Asuki should be. Kai represents, reading from my notes, so I'm having to look through it. Kai represents the longevity, hardiness to survive, and to overall be generally word that I wrote. Flipping through a little notebook, sorry. Yes, there it is. To be not like aggressive, but determined. There you go, determined. And Sadi is to represent the virtue of being good-hearted. To always try and see the light in people, and that everything is beautiful. Everything has beauty in it and goodness. But of course, this is just what your parents would tell you when you were younger, and just something that floats as stories were to be told around a fire by some of the elders to the children.
Wow.
When I was younger, my mother told me, well, they were named after the same. But my people, we descended from that. We were children of the moon. And it's created by Sadi. Quay, the other two moons, Quay and Sadi, represent the Quay, he represents the hardiness of us. The good-hearted part of us, and how we see light in the people. The goodness. What about you, Rabia? Do you know anything?
I'm gonna scratch my head a little bit. I'll make a history check. Why not? This will be interesting, because I was raised in a royal family, but I'm an Asimar, and in race.
Do you feel so I'm going to be depressed? But also...
Okay.
Aries doesn't like this.
I was gonna say, you could just tell me, and I'll just like,
I repeat, or not.
Just so
No,
it's
okay, man. I wrote all this. I came up with all this. I just didn't have it prepared because I wasn't expecting this to happen.
Also, if you hear typing, that's me writing all this down, because I can't. I can't remember details.
Okay, so yes, you were raised in a royal family, but as a result, you were taught the ways of elves, of the wood elves. Now, the wood elves, they're not really too. They don't really care too much about like astrology, but they are most of the time very connected to nature. So, what you know about Celeste, Kai, and Sadi,
oh boy,
is only things that you've read in books, things that are written by many different people. So you don't really know much about any kind of folklore.
So I know just
like
about
the other
the
two,
scientific
but
side of things.
yeah, you know that it is believed by astronomers and researchers and scholars that during the creation of the planet, of the moons, that Celeste was just a large asteroid, and then the other two slammed into Celeste in a collision, and then just started to orbit it with its gravitational field.
Huh.
They don't. So these stories of kind of these magical and kind of, to you, even sounding a little bit ridiculous origin stories of these moons is completely different from the types of books that you've read.
Yeah. So the two other moons collided, and then they just kind of like
No, they
started
collided.
orbiting?
They collided into Celeste. Initially,
Yeah.
it was Kai who came first, and then at some time later, Saudi from a different angle collided into
Okay.
Celeste as well, and then got trapped in its gravitational field and just began to orbit it.
All right, I wrote that down for lore purposes anyway, but I'm gonna scratch my head again because it's like these stories, like you said, are kind of sounding a little ridiculous. So
And
I'm trying to
Grafford,
think if I had...
you think he has piojos. So anyway, continue.
Wait, what? Oh, come on, you can't just do that. To
Well,
me.
I'm speaking Elvish. No, I mean it was a lice joke.
Oh.
Because you keep scratching your
because I'm
head.
scratching my head. Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna scratch my head. You need a little anti-lice shampoo? I got some. But anyway.
If you put mayonnaise, it kills lice.
Stick your head in this jar.
Oh, it's honey. Well, I was raised by wood elf royalty, so I don't know if you know, but they're not much into the astrological side of things.
They're
But,
like Chase. They think astrology's fake science.
And so I haven't heard any stories passed down through folklore. I've only read things in books about the formations.
Now that's quite a shame.
Yes,
I,
these
for one,
stories are quite amazing.
believe everyone should have some sort of story like that.
Aries, can I possibly remember any kind of story that's like, say, like an elvish story almost?
Make a history check.
Number 2.
As I wheel away to my drawers to grab my notebooks.
All 12 of them.
Oh, 100 of them. Couple of hundred of them.
Couple of hundred of them. Right up ahead.
Goddamn motherfucker.
You're very upset that we're wasting rolls on history checks.
I'm not upset. I'm ecstatic.
This is the RP side of things.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's just like I gotta tell you more specifically, so I have to like read instead of just telling you. Because almost every single one of these has been over 20.
and mine, which wasn't over 20, was a 19.
Exactly. I just think it's kind of ridiculous, that you keep on throwing this eye.
Yeah.
All right. So, wood elves.
Hold on, let me get my thing.
My notes.
My notes.
Are you ready, class, to take notes?
No, as
No!
I'm shifting through my backpack. No. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, take out your pencils.
Okay.
So, scattering wood elf lore.
Okay.
Your noble family, like I said, you had a personal tutor, who was very indifferent to you. But wandering the streets and talking to the people, you would sometimes hear stories.
Poor folk.
Mostly you would hear stories about their lives, about their children, about what they've done. But you have heard a very, very popular wood elf story, and it pertains mostly to the area around the Silverleaf kind of section of control.
Area of control. Yeah.
In that the woods around it, there's it's not really religious. It's just about what wood elves believe. I don't know if you guys can hear me flipping through pages rapidly and furiously.
I never thought they'd actually do this.
Exactly. I'm just glad that's not getting picked up on my mic as I'm looking at it now.
Hey, if you hadn't said anything, we would all be really impressed right now. Well, I'm still very impressed because you have a ton of notes, apparently.
Yo, he was prepared for
I
all
was gonna
this.
say,
to
yo,
happen.
going into the lore now.
So you did hear a story, and it's about the origin of wood elves, where wood elves came from, not like anything about the moon or anything.
Yeah.
But you know two sides. One that is a magical story told to you by a whimsical elder, and
Okay.
of something that you read in a book.
Yeah.
So the book side is that elves are descendants of a very special type of elf called like what are they called again? I mean, flipping through pages.
I totally wasn't ready.
They descended from like all races descended from a common ancestor, and over the course of selective breeding, not by somebody, but just like there'd be some who would stick together, and different traits started to arise. There were humans, the multiple different kinds of elves, and wood elves descended from those elves as they grew features that were more suited to living in the wilderness. And the ones who didn't became high elves over time, over generations and generations. And then those who were kind of forced away from the surface due to lack of resources or lack of ability to control their ground, and essentially being conquered by the other races of elves, were pushed underground, and those became the drow elves. Growing features and things that allowed them to operate better in caverns in total pitch black darkness. But the story that you heard of where wood elves come from was that there were two brothers.
Florbus and Gorbus.
There were two brothers, and they were nothing alike. One of the brothers was a very powerful sorcerer, and the other, masterful hunter, and they despised one another. They came from nowhere. They seemingly... The start of the story is just that there were two brothers. There was no father, there was no family, and that they very, very much disliked each other. But they were forced to stay with one another to keep each other alive. The hunter would hunt, forage, gather their food, kill the animals, and track them down and hunt them, bringing them back to the sorcerer, who, through the use of magic, would create the fire that they would use to cook their food, meld and bend the trees to create a home. And they stayed together, even though they despised one another. Some time passed, and suddenly, there was a woman, beautiful woman of pearl white skin, long ears like that of an elf, and the two brothers fought over her. You threw a history of 22, so I will go into detail.
Okay.
They slaughtered each other violently.
They argued and they bickered, but the woman took to both of them.
Ooh.
And at first she had gone to the hunter. The hunter had taken her, and the both of them had a romance. And they bore a child together. And after some time, one day when the hunter had gone to go and feed the people of the household, that being the brother, the woman, and the son, the brother, the sorcerer, charmed her and took her as his own and forced her to bear a child for him. The hunter, over the course of pregnancy, thought that he was to have another child, but when the child had come and had been that of the sorcerer, the two brothers fought. They fought one another to the death, and it came to a point where they were both hanging on to the just strings of life, barely hanging by a thread, when the woman had come between the arrow and the magic and was taken. Her life. And at that point, the two had taken their respective children and went on their two ways. And that became the High Elves and the Wood Elves.
Oh.
The High Elves leaving the forest, otherwise they would be hunted by the Wood Elves. And they have this animosity towards each other.
Jeez. That's pretty crazy.
Boom.
Yo, I'm sweating here. It's like I'm like I had to get kind of hazy.
Turbo type.
So the sorcerer, he grew to be the high elf, I'm guessing.
Yes, they became the High Elves, and those who stayed in the forest became the Wood Elves.
Okay.
Jeez.
There's a story
a
of
good
survival and romance and magic and betrayal and heartbreak.
And kill. You want to tell that story to us?
I mean, I can just like hold on.
Nah, I think I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah, hold on.
I like to imagine that as I was speaking, it was just coming out as Raldir's voice as you guys are just sitting together.
Oh,
I think he's just taking the last of the notes
Yeah.
as a train flies through the sky.
Oh.
Another beast.
Oh, how many lines do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 lines in my journal of Wood Elf lore.
That's a good way to put it. What
Oh,
off
I gotta-
lore?
Oh.
A lot to take in.
Firstly, it was a powerful story. Secondly, that was a lot of typing.
Thirdly,
Like,
I
listen,
don't
like,
wanna
you,
repeat
like
it.
you know it's a lot of typing when, like, the dude who does, like, sports just about every day of his life is out of breath from typing. Oh, okay. These notes, the way I would say them are very, very disorganized, but, to save time, should I not, or should I? Because I
mean,
can.
If you want
should I
to, you
stay or should
can.
I go?
But you could just say that as I was speaking, it was what Raldir was saying.
Because I feel like if I did that, I would have copied it for nothing.
Well, I mean, at some point this might come up as again. Plus, it's just a nice tidbit to have, and it's something that you know. Now you.
It's a cool story, yeah.
So
Now I know my backstory. You know what? Yes, I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna go through. I'm not gonna repeat it all. But anyway, yes, I will. Like what Ares was saying was exactly what Raldir was saying. So imagine that in Raldir's voice.
Grafford and Anna. Anna, you do not know too much about other cultures. The Sukis were very isolated. They didn't isolated and traditional. They didn't really interact with the other races and usually kept to themselves. But Grafford, you know about the animosity between High Elves and Wood Elves. That High Elves are very, very, very much prideful people, and they are very xenophobic, especially towards Wood Elves. They are. They feel like they are just the better race, that they are above them in every way capable, magically, physically, mentally, in every form. So this story kind of coincides with the characteristics and traits, and it explains the animosity that you knew of,
Yeah.
but in a way kind of gives a reason.
I was gonna say that in character voice. That says a lot. I've seen a lot of fights break out, and a lot of the races hold quite the hatred towards each other.
Where I'm from, I don't really see that.
You know, I myself, as you can tell from my exterior, am not a wood elf, but being raised by a wood elf family in a wood elf settlement, I really do feel that animosity, as you said, toward the high elves, and you know, I take to the wood elves as my own people.
For you two, who has a pure heart, why bring hatred into your own heart? Why not be one with all?
That's a wise stance to have, but you know, it was just the way I was raised. I guess I don't really have much of an answer other than that. It was just kind of a raised trait, I suppose. Of course, I'm not going to go attacking high elves in the streets. Of course not. But I definitely have a preference to possibly stay away.
That's fair enough.
I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Because it's cold.
Yep,
Freezing, actually.
exactly.
Freezing,
Oh, look at that, I
Echoes.
failed. Wait a second.
You got a 21. I got the 11.
Constitution
The 11
saving
fails.
throw.
Ah, it's cold!
As a frigid air takes you, you take
Shiver, shiver, shiver.
8 points of cold damage.
Wow.
You guys are above the clouds.
Alright, that's enough of that.
Yes, we should
Memory's
probably
over.
go down. Yeah.
Aries, how the hell do I bring this thing down?
You don't.
Maybe you should
I'm
pull the final
serious.
lever.
Oh yeah, pull the other lever. Pull the other lever.
So, knowing that you need to pull the final lever to change altitude.
Yeah.
I will do so.
So, what happens is you pull the final lever, and it doesn't make a sound when you pull it. It just goes, it just latches. You hear a latch, not the same kerchunk that the other one makes. That sounds like the shifting of metal against wood or metal against metal like the other levers. Instead, you just hear what sounds like just a latch being moved. And the bags of burlap that were once emptied by you guys seem to have these small little bubbles, kind of bubblish type shapes. These spheres begin to appear and grow inside them as the altitude goes downward. And you begin to sink back down below the clouds, and the winds are pressing against your face, and you gaze out over the desert at night.
Sorry to cut that short. It's just really cold up there.
No, I understand. I understand completely.
I was glad to see it though. It was very pretty.
Yeah. It was good to go down memory lane, I suppose. As well.
I'm glad I could give you two something to wonder about.
And The stories were very interesting, that's for sure, as someone who has not heard much of any lore of the moons before.
Names are very interesting.
Quite.
I'll have to keep
No.
those stories in mind.
When I was younger, I used to always go out in the sea with my mother.
Hmm.
Times.
Also, is it okay? So, are we out of the cold debuff zone now?
No, it's freezing.
Yeah, it's the
Freezing.
desert.
A
Oh
cold
yeah,
desert,
right.
not a hot desert.
So.
Can I use a hit die? I don't want to die.
Taking a short rest, you're piloting.
How long has it been?
Enough for it to change from the end of the day to night, so maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Yes! I should have specified that every hour I was going to drink one of those potions, but hey, feels good.
It's a process to create them, though. So you would have to stop piloting. You've been pretty occupied with steering the ship, because it's not just been straight sailing. You every once in a while you still have to get up and like the currents of the winds change, and you have to change the angle of the ship to continue moving straight.
I didn't know I had to make them. It just says as an action I reach in and pull out one. And then it disappears and comes back in an hour.
I'm gonna go into my priest pack quickly and hand Garrett forward my blanket.
You have been given a blanket.
I'll wrap myself up in it and see about putting the thing in autopilot.
That just keeps it going straight. If there's winds coming from the right, it'll lean you
Pushes
to the left.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can I look at the winds to see if I have a quick minute?
Huh?
Can I look at the winds to see if I've got like a hot minute?
Make a nature check.
The 20.
The winds are starting to actually grow rather violent, as before you were kind of just floating with the float wood that was used to create airship, and using just that, since there was almost little to no winds when you were above the clouds. So you were kind of just carrying on with the momentum of the winds that were pushing you before you decided to come back down. Actually, a majority of the time that you spent above the clouds, you were at a standstill because of the lack of wind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as I thought,
you came back down, and the winds have changed. They're very violent, and you're going to have to actively be steering for about the next 20 minutes.
I'm going to knock out if I can't do anything about this.
Also, for the formulas, you do need to create them. They don't like just magically refill on their own.
Yeah, I didn't read up on that. It never said anything about it.
The bag you create and its contents are both magical. This magic allows you to pull out exactly the right materials you need for your chemical formula options described below.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm looking at it right now, too. To make them, yes.
Not described.
Yeah.
So, what is everybody doing? You're steering. What are the other two doing?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna look around in our surroundings, see what we have on the ground below us. Just if
You
anything.
are about maybe 2 or 3 miles in the air.
Okay. I was hoping we were still descending.
So you're descending, but like as you've been descending, the sky goes up higher, dude. Like
I know.
So you're still about maybe 2 or 3 miles above surface. As far as you're looking down, all you can see is the desert stretching over continent of Udur.
Yeah, that's not my confidence. I got excited for a second.
That's my continent.
My continent is so good.
So I've got a blanket around me.
Huh.
Raldir, you mind reaching into the bag in the corner near the stairs? At least it should be there.
I'm gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna point. These stairs, by any chance?
Yeah, it should be there.
Okay, I'm gonna look around for the bag he's talking about.
Make an investigation.
Okay.
It's gonna be my Dungeoneer's pack. I'm not gonna be wearing it right now.
All right.
Investigation.
I know. Oh.
You look for it for a little while, but it doesn't seem that you're able to find it. Barrels and boxes.
Well, there's a lot of stuff down here. You see, when we collided with that stone man, it kind of pushed a lot of things around.
Drat, you're right. Ah, well, hope it hasn't fallen off the edge.
That would suck. Thanks for the idea.
Oh.
I speak my character's mind. I do not mind this one bit. No, it suck. Thanks for the idea.
Yeah,
do you
no.
need anything? Do you need anything in particular?
Well, I don't particularly want to freeze to death.
Hmm.
And I'm not feeling 100% right now.
Uh,
Honestly, keeping my eyes open is little troublesome.
well, don't.
Neither of you can pilot this thing, even if I taught you. You don't know the currents of the winds, how they'll affect the ship. For all I know, if I leave one of you at the wheel, we'll end up in the ground.
Just asking, would a torch give off any significant heat?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because
it's fear.
Yeah, I know, but when you compare a lighter to a house being on fire, there's different heat. There's different yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, but that's just what I was asking about.
This is fine.
Anyway, I'm gonna go up here because I'm a nice Samaritan. I am going to light one of my torches and I'm gonna stand around him. I'll be his heater.
His personal heater. He also has a blanket.
I'll hobble around a torch like hobos at a trash can fight.
Well, what do you want us to do? There's no little fireplace on this ship, and it'll set the place on fire.
Oh, what are you talking about? There's a fireplace right there.
What?
Huh?
My amnesia's kicking in again. Who are you?
Ah!
So, are you gonna sail through the night?
No, I wanted to descend to the ground,
Okay.
and I wanted to anchor.
Easy enough. You do so, and you go down to the ground, and you kind of position it between two sand dunes to try and kind of conceal it from other people. And you put down this large anvil that seems to be a makeshift anchor for this vessel.
Can it be rusted too?
As the why not? As the wood meets the sand, it kind of it's descends and hits the sand, but then immediately tries to float back up because of the float wood, and you toss the anchor down, and it's kind of it's maybe 2 or 3 feet off the ground of the sand, but the anchor is keeping it from going higher than that.
That was too much for one day. I may be a sprightly young chick, But that thing was scary. My heart can't take a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely unlike anything I've ever seen before, that's for sure.
Likewise. Something of that magnitude? Something only in the storybooks.
Seriously.
So,
Go ahead.
you guys are going to take a long rest?
Yeah. Go ahead. Take a
I'm gonna,
take a spot on the ship. Tuck yourselves in. I'll give Anna her blanket back. Thank you kindly.
No problem. Don't mention
I'm gonna kind of wave it around, just like, does anyone want the torch?
I've got an idea. Is this an actual grate? Like metal and all?
Yeah.
Can the torch fit in there without falling all the way in?
No.
Oh.
Can we wedge it to the side so it's like doesn't fall in?
If you want to fire, I think it would be in your best interest to get off the ship
Off the
and do
boat,
it in
yeah.
the sands.
But I'd rather sleep on the ship so we don't get
Sleep.
A, mauled by sand sharks, B, found by rogues and killed, and C, I don't know, ship kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, ship cool.
Make the
That's my
decision,
idea.
please.
I've got an idea. I'm gonna take out my hempen rope and I'm gonna tie it on. I'm gonna tie the torch on there.
Oh,
Okay.
Is that a good idea?
be descriptive. I don't
Oh boy, I don't like this already.
I don't
was gonna
really
say,
I don't really know what you're saying by tie it on there. Like
Don't set anything on fire.
Candles.
where are you tying it to? I don't understand.
The metal?
I still don't understand how you're accomplishing this.
I have some
I
candles.
pass the rope through the holes. I put the torch next to the metal and tie a knot onto both the rope and the torch and the metal. So effectively keeping the torch onto the metal with the rope.
Okay, so I would say it took you about maybe 30 minutes to descend from your altitude down to the
So
ground.
the torch is probably out.
And you begin to fasten it to the metal grate, and
Wait,
just as you finally tie the
wait,
knot,
hold
hold on. You already said what you're doing.
I don't have the Dungeoneer's pack. It's in there.
He handed you rope. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so this you find your Dungeoneer's pack. Like, I was already assuming that you spent the time to look for it after you landed.
Mm-hmm.
And you tie it to it, and then you finally it starts to give off a little warm glow and heat, and then it finally burns out just a couple of minutes after you just tied it down.
I have some candles.
What kind of idea did I think of?
I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna pull it out of my pack. I do have a tinder box, so I mean, I could probably restart that.
I also have a tinder box.
I have one too.
The way that a torch works is that it's essentially wood with oiled rags on top of it, and it burns out once the oiled rags have burned away.
But I don't think that's gonna help us light this thing again.
No.
If we're gonna stay warm in the desert,
You have to burn on.
we might have to get off of.
Burn on the.
We might have to get off the ship.
Tired
You
to the
don't want to
grate,
sleep a
tired to the
cold
grate.
night.
Yeah, you're probably right.
All right, everyone off.
I'm gonna
I'll
hop
keep
off.
track. We'll sleep near the boat, but do not set a fire too close, or I'll keel haul you.
Oh,
Wait, I gotta go to the other side.
spoken like a real pirate.
That's just jargon. I won't do anything to you.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. I'm not that cruel.
Well,
He said cruel, but it's not like
Cool.
he said I'm not that.
I'm not that cool.
I don't want to be cool.
I don't want to be cool.
So I guess we'll set. Does anyone have wood? Actually, hold on. Do I know what's in some of the barrels on my ship?
Yes, you do.
What's in them?
Mostly just drinking water and a few other liquids. You have a cask of ale, a cask of wine, 2 casks of water, but in some of the crates you have about 15 uses of timber.
Oh, I almost forgot. Hold on. I'll just. I need some help. It's a
There's
lot
a-
harder to get back on.
There's rope
gonna
ladders
end
on
up
the
tangled.
side.
I'm gonna end up tangled.
Make a performance check. You know how to climb a rope ladder. They can very. So you see that he's sort of trying to pretend like he's tangled, but you can tell that he could very easily get out of it if he wanted to.
I need some assistance.
You think it's a ploy to maybe get your hands on him.
I'm gonna help him.
You pull on one of these so-called knots that have trapped him. Why am I doing quotations when nobody can see me? And you just make one little pull and then suddenly he's free.
I got you.
Now he must.
Do I-
If you fray a gnome from a rope ladder, it is only tradition that they become your eternal servant.
You never knew, but that was my trap.
And Dobie is free.
Dobby is free.
Dobby is free now.
Okay, continue.
Did it seem like I performed pretty well?
No, it was very obvious that you weren't trapped.
You two are good sports.
No,
Thank you for playing along with a. I'll put Spritey young chicken in quotation marks. I know I'm kind of old.
I'm gonna chuckle. You're still as young as ever.
Were you?
Oh.
I'm just playing with you.
But really, who are you?
Wait, what was your name again?
Ah, that's right.
Stay
Bacon.
right there.
Starrock?
I'm gonna go grab some timber from one of these crates. I say, just like wiping away some of the tears from chuckling. Whew.
One of
Yeah,
those.
I'm gonna hand the timber down, some of the timber down to Rob here.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure Anna doesn't have to carry any.
Excuse me. Come on, let me help.
I'm
Oh
gonna
no!
place it over. I'm gonna place it in a big pile. Or in
I'm
a pile.
I'm gonna get some wood, just a lot of wood compared to my size. I'm gonna just kind of get off the side.
So you make a fire. So this is just deduct one use of timber from your ship's cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do I have to have a ship cargo tab on me?
probably.
Cool. That's actually awesome.
And with that, that's where we're gonna end tonight's session. So as the party sits around makeshift campfire in the desert with Old Rusty, the airship, behind them after narrowly escaping the Titan that has somehow awoken in question mark. And after learning a little bit more about some of the origin stories of some of the races and the moons and a lot of lore, we'll go ahead and then see you next week on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. No, 5:30 p.m. 6:30 if we're late and we suck. 5:30 p.m. CST. But other than that, from everybody here at D&D Universe on the Orizon Cast, we'd like to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Right down the road.
See ya.